Wow. Wow. A man just died.
Hey everyone, welcome to Back Issues. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
And I haven't hosted in a really long time.
Who are you again?
I know, right? I'm the one who streams video games for ComicPop. Today, I'm thrilled to be sitting here on the couch. What would bring me back to the couch? What would bring me back? There's a couple of reasons that usually I'm hosting a book. One, it's something that's super poignant, meaningful, and beautiful. Two, it's something that Sal doesn't want to do and thinks is garbage, so I have to do it. Three,
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. And four, it's something that is none of those things, but gets me super excited and is silly and over the top.
Okay.
So it's that one. And I am really excited to share this book with you and these two because I loved every issue as this was coming out back in 2023. This is really modern. And the reason we're doing it is because there's going to be a sequel to it. Yay! They literally don't know. You saw the thumbnail. You know. They don't. Guys, today we're going to be talking about Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong.
Yes!
I've never even heard of this.
I am so excited to share this book with you.
Oh
That's
my
awesome.
goodness.
It's just a chef's kiss. This is a book that came out of nowhere for me. Sal and I both started reading it. I think after issue 1 or 2, he was like, I'm good. And I'm like, I am strangely going to keep reading it. By the end, I was like,
Genius.
Bravo!
Bravo!
Yes! Rereading this book, better than the first time.
Oh, okay.
Very good.
Better than the first time.
I was
had a
afraid
good
you're going to be
time.
like, not so great.
Nope.
No? Okay.
Had a
It's
great time.
All right.
Had a great time.
Well, I mean, people are demanding a sequel, so it's got to be somewhat good.
Yo, all right. So first of all, let's talk about written by Brian Buccellato, or Buccellato.
That's Gelato. Brian Gelato.
Also with art by Christian Duce or Duce.
Dulce de leche.
Occasionally in some of the later issues by Tom Derenick. So let's talk about this book. It's got a lot of things on it. A lot of things we're very familiar with. We know who the Justice League are. We know who Godzilla is, and we know who Kong is. Let's talk about the universes that we're mashing up because this is a straight up crossover.
Which of the many universes of Kong and Godzilla is
So
it?
it is the legendary Monsterverse, right? So
I don't know what that is.
okay, so
Yeah, I was like, do I know what that is?
yes, you do.
Is that the new one?
Yes, it's
Okay,
all the
okay.
new American ones.
That
This
makes
has nothing
sense.
to do with Toho.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with Godzilla -1. This has nothing to do with Gojira. It has nothing to do with anything authentic and original.
Right.
It has to do only with the legendary verse. We're talking about Kong Skull Island. We're talking
Right.
about Godzilla versus Kong. We're talking about all of that, right?
Got it.
That said, neither universes claim continuity to this. So it's not like this actually has happened in the Monsterverse or this has
Sure.
actually happened in DC. This is a completely continuity-free story, which really helps out because it means anything can happen. You go into this knowing not everybody has to make it.
Yeah,
Or everybody
yeah.
can make it. Who cares?
Godzilla could
Who
kill
knows?
Superman. You don't know.
You don't know. You don't know. Don't even bother guessing what's going to happen in it. Because here's the thing.
I can't even imagine.
Here's the thing.
Because
If
Superman
in-
should be able to just easily defeat
Sure.
King Kong and
Sure,
Godzilla,
sure.
really.
In the back of your head, if there is something you're hoping you'll see in this book, it's probably gonna happen. And you're gonna clap your hands. And you're gonna scream encore. And you just, yeah. And honestly, the plot isn't bad. You got a crossover book, right? It'd be really easy to go like, who cares? Just whatever, just smash your action figures together, right? Just
Is this a book where they're in the same universe and they always have been, or is there?
Nope, there's a
okay.
reason.
There's
a whole reason.
thing.
There's
Okay.
a whole ass reason that this is
Okay.
happening. And there's occasionally a couple of things where I'm like, okay. But you know what?
There's gonna be.
Those other moments where you're just like, I wanted to see that. And then I did. You're like, I don't care about that other thing that maybe in a normal comic book I'd be like, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. I should also note, apparently, I think I read somewhere that Brian Buccellato has on one arm like a DC tattoo, Superman, something like that, and the other arm a King Kong tattoo. Now, he did not pitch this book. This was a behind-the-scenes working between the comic arm of Legendary and DC. A couple of editors were talking to each other. They kind of made this happen, and he was like, when offered, was like, yes, yes, please.
That one.
Let me
I
do
want
it.
that.
I want it.
That's great.
So let's jump into this because
That's who you
like,
want doing this book,
That's
right?
literally
Yeah.
like he was just so excited, and you can feel it. You feel that energy in this book, in this dumb book. So let's just crack this open.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. Like I mean, like a lot of love is put into this. This is not what the art looks like, unfortunately. But like I love this opening to this book. We got the hardcover because Sal knows my love of hardcovers. All right. Here we go, everybody. So we're gonna start this off with a rooftop in Metropolis. It's the Daily Planet. We got Clark Kent, we got Lois Lane, and they're chatting. They're having a romantic dinner. And he's like, do you remember why this place is important? And she's like, oh yeah, sure. Like mentions a whole bunch of things. And he's like, this is where we first met. She's like, I know, I'm kidding with you. I'm joking. I'm more East Coast than you are, right? Like I have more sarcasm. And she describes him as being like someone that like, was like, an unlikely combination of like awkward and well-mannered and like Supermanly, whatever. And, he was like just taken by her. Like she was sophisticated and whip smart and intimidating. And, she was ready for whatever the world threw at her. And he's like, and I was in awe of you. And she's like, I don't think I was ready for you. And he gets down on one knee and he's like, what about now? And he proposes to her.
Oh.
Before she can say yes, they hear a rumble and Godzilla pops out of the ocean.
Oh, damn.
Off of Metropolis.
I object.
Yeah. Excuse me.
All right, we're jumping right into it.
We'll get right into it because that's what you want. You're like, just do it.
Yeah.
And then we go, let's go back.
Yeah, I had a
Let's
feeling.
go back. Let's go back.
We gotta
12
set it up.
hours. Just 12
Okay.
hours. We
That's
just
not
go
too
12
bad.
hours
Okay.
back, right? We got Green Lantern and Flash. We're dealing with, because we can make up whatever we want, right? So it's Hal Jordan and it's Barry Allen. Very classic. This book will give you, if you're a fan of the animated series, Justice League Unlimited, especially, if you love that series and for some reason you didn't grab this, although the fact that we're getting a sequel means hopefully more of you did, you're probably gonna like this because this has that vibe. These two put together, they're like pecking at each other. They're friends, they're brothers. It's cute. Not really brothers, but like,
Brothers in arms.
brothers in arms, essentially. They're giving each other a hard time. And essentially, 12 hours ago, they're watching Superman push himself to the limit, saving people around the world. Because what he's trying to do is go on vacation. He's going to propose to Lois, and then they're going to go on vacation. She knows they're going on vacation, so he's going to get as much done as possible before the
Just to
league.
save
You see,
everyone
there's a
super hard.
quota of trouble in the world, and
Yeah.
if I
Right.
get all of my work done early,
Then I-
nothing
Yeah.
else will happen for a day or
Usually
two.
I wait, I let things like gestate and become
Yeah,
even
I'm
bigger
like,
problems.
well, can they take care of it? All right, fine, I'll save them. But Hal's like, I don't understand. Like, why doesn't he just do this all the time? And Flash is like, it's not sustainable. He'll burn himself out eventually. He's like, you're talking to the fastest man alive. I'm telling you, you'll burn yourself out. It's
Right.
just not worth
So
it.
they're just acknowledging that like Superman has to choose who to not save because he's too tired.
Yes.
And he does it all the
But
time.
he can't do this all the time.
24/7.
It would burn him out.
Right.
Then we would have no
Right.
Superman.
I get
Right.
that,
We'd have
but
no Superman.
they're watching him do this.
Yes.
Can't they just help out?
So
No,
okay.
somebody's got to watch from the watch
So
tower.
here's the thing. Superman's choosing to do this himself, right? Because the fact is there's already a plan at play here. Kara's here, Supergirl. She's going to step in so that there is a Kryptonian present. Like,
Okay.
Superman can take off because she's going to be here. The rest of the league is all in on it. They know that Clark is going to propose. So everyone's like, don't worry, we're going to take extra hours. We've got this. Like,
Okay.
unless there's some sort of like cataclysmic event, you should be good. As this is going on, we see Titano, giant ape. We're foreshadowing, right? Like, yeah, right, okay.
Right. Here's one of the monkeys he normally fights.
Yeah, so like, look at that, haha, isn't that funny? They got one of these too. But, Flash is like, I should probably go help. Can't he shoot like kryptonite stuff? And Hal and Kara are like, he's got it. By the
He's
time,
fought Titano before.
by the time Flash gets there, he has taken care of it. But this gives an opportunity for Flash and Superman to have a conversation about how, like, Flash is really excited and that, like, it'll be really good for them. And, like, that, like, Clark just has someone to talk to about it where he's just like, when you know, you know. And, like, I just know. And, like, I don't think it's going to feel any different. I'm just excited for us to start our lives. Like, I see us together with, like, kids. Maybe not, like, the farmhouse. I don't think Lois will go for that.
No,
Flash
not a
is like,
chance.
there's just no way. There's just no way she goes for
Yeah,
that.
don't even.
He's like, don't get me wrong. I love visiting your ma and your pa.
Yeah, but we're not taking the farm.
But I am living in a city.
Yeah,
I'm getting takeout.
Yep.
And I am not, running through the dirt all the
Yeah,
time.
exactly. There will be like no bugs. And so Hal shows up as well, and Hal essentially is like, hey, listen, I'm only here to remind you that it's just like, wow, you're really like gonna lose your independence, man. Like he's like against the idea, but
Oh
like
my god.
totally
It's like, dude, you're making a huge mistake. I don't
All
want
I'm
to like rain
saying
on your
is-
parade, but just like don't.
Getting married is sort of like having an evil spirit possess you.
Yeah. The line is, I just want you to understand what you're giving up. Superman's like, and what is that? And he's like, pretty much everything. And like
Yikes.
Superman's like, listen,
What a bro.
I'll there's no harm in listening. I already know what I'm gonna do. They bring Titano to Stryker's Island.
I'd love it if Wonder Woman, who also is there now, be like, no, he's right. You're giving up everything.
Yeah, no. She's there, and she's like, don't listen to Hal. And he's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. We all support you. We're all super excited. We know, like, we're so happy for you. It's going to be amazing.
Does Lois know he's Superman in this
Yes,
continuity?
100%.
Okay.
Yes. Because when they go upstairs, like, with their luggage for their vacation, we see that later on. She's like, wait, why are we going up to the roof? Like, are we flying? Like, are we going to the airport? Or are we, like, flying? You know what I mean? So, yes, she is very well aware of this.
He's like, I'm just saying it's cheaper if you take air soups.
Yeah. Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom, we see a bunch of the Legion of Doom members staring at Superman, like, defeating Titano and this, Supermanian, Herculean feat, and talking about why they're so ineffectual. Like, Black Manta's like, we just need a plan. We need, like, a good plan. Because, like, we got all the stuff.
Yeah, you've never had that before.
Yeah, that's what it is. Someone suggests that the issue is that, like, they don't get along.
Unlike the heroes who get along with each other, like we are bad guys who cannot.
Yeah, Toyman is like, the
nice.
problem is that we're not, like, we don't get along. And, like, Cheetah's like, so, like, the problem is that we're not super friends. No.
She was like, shut up, moron.
Yeah, basically. So they're like, we need a plan. That's when Lex Luthor shows up, and it's just like, I got a plan.
I'm in charge. I have a plan.
I got a plan.
I always have plans.
I got like 6 plans, but we're gonna go with this plan. And
let me guess, kill Superman.
well, it's like we got.
How could you guess?
Well, I mean, listen, my plan does involve Superman in some way, shape, or form. And what happens to him afterwards, I don't know. His plan is they're gonna go to the Fortress of Solitude and break in.
Okay.
All right. It's taken him 3 years to find it. But he found it,
Oh.
utilizing all sorts of, like, satellite data and using the greatest criminal mind in history.
It was a guy named Jeb with a prop plane who just flew for the past 3 years over Antarctica.
They realized that the only defense that the Fortress of Solitude has is Kellex and the big
Kellex.
doors, right?
Yeah.
They see Kellex, they're like, it's just one robot, and he's like, that is not a robot. Lex is like, that is a work of art. Take it down, and we're taking it with us. Because I'm going to take it apart, I'm going to
fuck
use
this
it.
thing.
Yeah. Utilizing other robots that Lex brought with him, they open up the gigantic doors and are managed to get in, right? Cool. There's all the stuff there. There they are before all of the items within the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, the Mobius chair,
kind of easy.
a steam engine of some sort.
Lex is like, we're here for 2 things. Chewing bubblegum and kicking ass. No, we are here for 2 things. A mother box and Orion's sled. Don't touch anything else. He's using Black Manta's.
Oh, like Aladdin.
Yeah.
Yes.
We want to turn
Only
into
touch
lava
the
and
lamp.
stuff.
Yeah, like, literally, yeah. Black Manta, using his suit and other devices, is like, checking for any other security measures, and finds out on each item that there's cutting edge ultrasonic alarms attached to them. Right, all the cases are wired for that. It's an alarm that only Superman or Kara would hear. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And meanwhile, while they're all doing that, Toyman is taken by this beautiful red gem he sees, and he just picks it up like Abu.
That's amazing.
Perfect.
And then, like, turns to them and goes like, I'm sorry, what'd you just say about that?
So now Superman's coming, right? They're like,
Well,
the clock's now ticking.
Yeah, exactly. But this is all before he goes and has the dinner with Lois. So he's like packing for his vacation, right? And as he's packing for this vacation, he hears Bruce come to the door. Before Bruce can even knock, he opens it up, and Bruce comes in, and, like, they have this really cute moment where he shows him the ring, and he's just like, did you make that? Like, did you take carbon and crush that diamond yourself? And he's like, no, I financed it. And he's like,
Like
and
a
don't,
normal person.
He's like, and don't offer me, like, a loan that I never have to pay back. This is fine. He's like, no, it's perfect. She's gonna love it.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's not why you're here. And he's like, I get it, Batman, always a cynic, always whatever. But have you thought about the fact that, like, you're gonna be putting Lois at risk? Have you thought about the fact that, like, that's gonna, like, having Lois as your wife will compromise who and how you save people? And he's like, it never has and it never will.
Yeah. It's like, well, I already, if so, I'm already compromised.
Yeah. And so,
Right,
and Batman goes like, fair enough. All right, congratulations. And that's when he hears the alarm. And he's about to leave, and, like, Bruce is like, whoa, hang on. Kara just called. They're on it. They got it. They're already up there. And they are. You got plenty of heavy hitters here, and they take on the Legion of Doom, right? And they just start fighting. Cheetah immediately is like, I'm going to kill you, Toyman. I'm gonna kill you.
And the superheroes just kind of sit back while they watch the supervillains tear each other apart.
I'm gonna take you, and I'm gonna lay on the floor with you and use my back powerful claws, and I'm gonna shred your tummy. Because I'm a cat.
I would like to see that.
I would also like to see that.
I like this depiction of Cheetah.
Yeah, right? She's just, like, she got her ears back. She's bad. just like a cat.
What was Lex's plan for defeating the alarms on the two things that he wanted?
He had asked Black Mantis to start like looking at it, and like he was going to use
like
tech.
we're going to figure out how to circumvent
like,
these
"Don't
two
worry."
alarms because each one is a challenge.
Exactly. And so essentially they just bust them open. He grabs the mother box and the sled, and he's going to put them together. And the plan is to utilize these two items in order to create a device that will send the Justice League into the Phantom Zone. That is his plan.
All right.
What does Orion's sled do?
Listen,
I feel like I've heard of it.
Yeah, I think it's the thing that he rides around on.
What does that have to do with the Phantom Zone?
I mean, combine it with a mother box and
Just
something.
chunk there. Now it's a Phantom Zone generator.
And now you go to the Phantom Zone.
I see.
The fact is, Bucaletta makes a lot of like old school references in here, so don't be surprised.
It probably
if
happened in
something
some
like,
prior book.
There's literally a moment where someone gets punched and it's a reference to another book. So it's something like that, right? Like so it's just all these little references, and it's just for fans of old school DC books. But for anyone else who's just reading it, just enjoy the book. That's just like, oh, extra, cool. Nice. Anyway, big fight breaks out. All of our leaguers team up or pair off against, Legion of Doom folk, and as meanwhile Lex is just doing his thing in the background, which I'm kind of like, just focus on that, right?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, keep him distracted. I'm gonna do the thing over here.
Exactly. Toyman plays like, oh, don't get me, and then like utilizes one of his toys in order to try to attack one of the leaguers. It's Hawkgirl. She uses her mace, deflects it, and it lands on the mother box, causing an explosion, and that explosion activates it, and when the explosion is done, the entire Legion of Doom is gone. I think we all see where this is going.
We have, opened a rift to
somewhere. Who knows where? Anyway, we catch up with the current plot line of Lois and Clark, meeting up. She's doing her work. She's like, can I take a rain check on dinner? Like, and he's like, we're going on vacation. She's like, oh yeah, I'm ready. The Legion of Doom is in some sort of jungle somewhere. Mm-hmm. They don't know where they are. They've been transported somewhere. Toyman's just like,
none of this is my fault.
Yep, literally that.
Except it's
my
all
fault.
his fault.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was initially his fault.
Yes, they still have the sled, which is funny. Like Grodd's just hanging onto it because Gorilla Grodd's there. The Legion of Doom that we see so far, by the way, because we mentioned like Toyman and Cheetah were here. We've got Giganta, Black Manta, Captain Cold, and Gorilla Grodd along with Lex. Giganta gets gigantic, looks and sees like there's like a facility over like that way. There's like a large structure. Let's head there. And in doing so, they run into a big scary thing. Right? Mm-hmm. And if you saw Kong Skull Island, you'll recognize this as either the Skull Devil or one of the Skull Crawlers. I think this is meant to be the Skull Devil, which is like the alpha Skull Crawler from that.
Yeah, I vaguely recall.
And King Kong shows up. Or at least a big gorilla. No, it's King Kong.
Right.
We don't have to hide. He's got the scratches.
Yeah.
It's like, it's King
It's
Kong.
him, yeah.
We don't have to pretend like, oh, is it? And they just see, like, they watch Kong fight
this thing,
right?
And Grodd is just like, this is the most beautiful sight I've ever seen.
Yeah, Grodd stops and goes like, an ape god? And you're like, uh-oh. The rest of the team heads inside, and they're like, where is Grodd? They're like, who cares?
He's gone, man.
He's just out there. He's out there. They start looking at a map of the world, and they recognize immediately that there's a massive land that doesn't exist on their Earth, and it's Skull Island. I was like, that's kind of really...
Is Skull Island really big?
It's big enough that well, it'd have to be, right?
I guess. I thought it was just like a regular island.
I mean, like, that really wouldn't be very fair to Kong. That's not a lot of room.
That's true.
He
would need a very
large
large
island. That would be like
island.
a really poorly planned zoo, enclosure.
Yeah,
where
just like a sad zoo. Yeah.
Imagine an island the
paces
size of
back
New
and
Zealand.
It's just...
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the size of New Zealand, that makes sense.
It's big enough for him, but it's small enough to like almost miss from space.
Yeah.
There you go.
Almost.
Yeah, right. Anyway, they immediately notice it. At least like Lex and Black Manta do, because they're like the two more intelligent of the group.
Right. Black Manta's like, it's in the water. That's kind of my thing.
Yeah,
it's
like I love that. Like I know
all the
yeah,
islands,
yeah.
and
Like,
that one's not right.
You do not. You liar.
I know all. I
know everything to do with water.
I'm very nautical.
Oh, okay.
Islands, fjords,
Oh, okay.
all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, you heading up to the majestic fjords?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know them all inch by inch.
I keep track of the glacier flow and the recessions.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like you're actually like a do-gooder who would like, be really worried about climate change.
Climate change is a really big problem.
Yeah. For
Almost
the
as
oceans.
problematic as Aquaman.
That's just upsetting the balance.
How are you not just working with
That's
him?
why
He's
I'm a
fine.
bad guy. I want to destroy humanity so they can't destroy the Earth. That actually should be a friggin' Black Manta plot.
Right, 100%. Yes, you're welcome.
Of course, we don't know that it isn't.
That one's
no
free.
one here would know.
No one here would know. Anyway, while they're talking inside, we see like Grodd using a totally different font color. So I had to assume he's speaking ape.
Yeah.
I thought he was being telepathic.
Wait, all
Which he
apes
may
speak the
be,
same language?
But like, if you do a bubble like that, to me,
Yeah, that's a speech
That's
bubble.
like more like a speech bubble. It could be a telepathic bubble because he is telepathic.
Yeah, because
Right.
if it was
Telekinesis
another
and-
language, they should put in brackets, right?
Right. So it's like, I'm gonna agree with you that in my head he's speaking ape, which is really funny to me. I do agree with you that it is that. But
How would that sound?
Like,
I don't know.
ooh,
I don't
ah.
speak ape. Do you?
Yeah. Ook. Ook. Grook.
He beats his chest.
series of grunts and yeah.
Anyway, Kong is just like,
It's like, what is this guy saying? I have
Yeah,
no
like,
idea.
I
what
guess-
you're talking like I can understand.
small
you.
thing. I care not. But
yeah.
Also, you're an ant.
Yeah.
yeah.
What do I care?
So while Lex and Manta are figuring out where they are, right, and Captain Cold is watching Grodd talk to Kong, the others are looking at another monitor in which they see Kong and Godzilla and a couple of other Titans, right?
This is like a monitoring station
Yes.
set up by Monarch or
Yes,
whatever. Yeah,
exactly.
Thank you. I could not remember the name of the.
Yes.
I was like, Mantis?
Yes. Okay.
Nope.
So for those who are less familiar, we don't have to get too much into the lore from the Monsterverse because we don't spend a whole lot of time in the Monsterverse. Spoilers. But Monarch is an organization that was developed by Legendary for the Monsterverse. It doesn't exist in any
Right, it's
other
not.
lore. It's just from that, and it is exactly that. I think it's developed after the atom split or during the. Or they helped to cause the atom split.
I don't remember.
But they've like around since at least pre.
For a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pre-60s, if not
Yeah.
earlier than that, right?
Yeah, I believe that's implied from like flashbacks. And
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
Anyway, Toyman sees them and is like, "Wow, what amazing toys!" Like he's looking at them as though they're action figures, right? And they're like, Giganta and Cheetah are like done with this guy.
Yeah.
They are just.
Who invited this guy?
Yeah, literally that, and actually that's something that Lex says at one point. He's just like, "My biggest mistake in the Legion of Doom was inviting you."
You've
Maybe,
done nothing of value.
maybe Toyman realizes like they have to be fake, just like Titano.
Admittedly, Toyman is also like a little bit of a sociopath. He's not really,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? He's like, when like Lex immediately dismisses him, like Toyman just starts yelling "shut up" at him a whole bunch of times. He's
Oh.
like, "No, they're perfect. They're what we need. We need to use these. They're the ultimate toys. We need to bring them back."
Why do you think they're toys? I don't understand. Just because
Because
they
he's
look
Toyman.
weird.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically
Yeah.
everything's a toy to me. I'm a toy man.
right.
he's-
I can't tell scale on here. I can't actually tell that they're giant.
And so like he takes the red stone and proceeds to say like, "I wish I could show them all. I take all these toys back to play with the Justice League. Oh, how I wish." And then, floosh, because what is this but the Dream Stone, actual artifact from GC lore, stone that Dr. Destiny uses in Sandman,
Okay.
and is
Okay.
used in many other
Yeah.
stories. Has a lot of power.
How did he get it?
It was
That
in
was
the
what he
Fortress
picked up from
Assault.
the
That was the
Fortress.
thing he picked up.
Oh, that's what he picked up. Okay.
So that's why we need Toyman there, right?
Yeah.
So Flash, cut back to will they, won't they, with the marriage, and Superman rips off his suit. He's like, "I gotta go," and she's like, "I love you."
Huh? Yeah. What? Okay.
There's a big monster. I'm sorry.
Right.
Well, you can see it.
Right.
It's not like my super sight. It's right there.
Exactly, and it's like, cool. We saw Godzilla show up, right? But like, tell me this isn't something you don't want to see.
Yeah.
You want to see Godzilla looming over Metropolis and Superman flying. I'm like, yes.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Batman's just like, oh, thank God that's not Gotham.
I don't really know what
I
I
have
do.
nothing to challenge that.
So anyway, Superman does what Superman does. He attempts to go up to Godzilla and is like, "Hey, buddy, I don't know if you can understand me, but like, I'm gonna need you to stop
Yeah.
because you're gonna cause a lot of. Let's just take this elsewhere. You know."
I've killed literally hundreds of you. Like I could kill you in a second, but I'm trying to avoid doing that.
Exactly, and he's like, I can't have you taking down Metropolis, all
Right.
right? And he's just like,
All my stuff's here.
yeah, all my stuff's here, and the people I like. Go to Gotham. So he's like, he realizes that like Godzilla like kind of like looks at him. He's just like, "Oh, you want me? You're here for me."
Oh, you can sense power, I guess.
Or the wish stone made you
Right.
come after me because
Right.
that's what toy
So
maker
Toy
ask
Man.
for. Toy Man, whatever. His
He's
stupid
toy.
name is.
He's toy,
Toy guy.
You see him like start to light up. I'm like, oh, and then Superman
Oh.
punches him in the face.
Yeah.
Right?
Nope, not letting you do that.
Yeah.
Who knows what's coming out
I know
of
what
there?
that
Could
means.
be
That's some kind of
sort of kryptonite
power up
blast.
ability. Yeah.
Yep. So he's like, I warned you, and then he goes to fly for his tail because he's like, I got to get you out of here, and Godzilla just goes, bink.
Oh.
And Superman just goes flying across the city through many buildings. He lands in this office complex. He's like, is everybody okay?
Right.
Is anybody hurt?
Yeah, I didn't just level like multiple floors of this building. I
Right.
just broke through one window.
Yeah, we're fine.
And you
And
can see nobody died.
Nope. And he also destroyed their copier.
Yeah.
And this
Oh, I'm
guy's like, do you
sorry.
know how expensive copies are? Like, we have insurance for this. Don't worry. In this world, there's definitely
Oh yeah, there is
Right, there's
superhero
Superman
insurance.
insurance.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. Flash shows up. Superman's like, all right, I got to get back out there. Can you help in the evacuation? We have to get people out of here. It's evacuation protocols.
For the whole city?
Yep.
That's going to take hours.
Oh, Flash is going to start with the immediate. He's the Flash.
Yeah, that's true.
He's going to start
That's
with the
true, that'll
immediate
help.
area.
Okay.
So a bunch of the other League show up. A lot of the folks we saw from earlier now joined by Green Arrow, who is hilariously being carried
Oh, thank God that's Green Arrow.
by Green Lantern,
It's a sidecar.
which is it's really funny because the reason that this is happening was because Ollie wasn't at the Watchtower. He was vacationing on his yacht, and he needed a ride.
Nice.
I'm like,
I thought that was Aquaman, and I was going to be like, it'd be hilarious if he carried him in a green fishbowl.
right?
Where is Aquaman? Is he going to show up?
He will eventually
Okay.
show up, but not yet.
He should be. He
needs
should
to
be
be.
front
These
and
things are
center.
coming from the ocean.
Right, but he's
Yeah.
not. He's not. They think they should be going to Metropolis, but they're actually going somewhere else because Cyborg put out a call, and he's like, "It's urgent. You need to get here." Like he called it a big problem, and Cyborg calls in. He's like, "It's actually like we have like another. We got like a lot of big problems. Or 3 other Titans have shown up different places on Earth, right?
Oh, snap.
Okay.
Oh, it's not just Kong
It's not.
and Godzilla.
Nope.
Okay.
So we got in Central City. We have one on Themyscira, and we have one in Gotham.
Haha,
So
sucks to
this
you,
is
Gotham.
this is Scylla. I'm using a Greek pronunciation of a mythic creature for that, so don't at me. Literally looked it up. That's
There you go.
because it's spelled Scylla. This is Behemoth.
They say its name? How
Yeah.
do they know?
Okay, so that's Kamazazats.
Kamazazats?
Yeah. So
So Batman's like, I know that. That's Kamazazats.
Batman will identify that one because
How does he know? It's not even from his
because
universe.
It resembles a Mayan legend.
Oh, I see. I've inferred that it is a creature from myth
Mayan
and legend.
because I'm Batman.
Yeah, I
because
know
whatever.
everything. Yeah.
So
Well, I know a lot about bat
It's a
lore.
bat. Yeah, I specifically know bat lore.
It is a bat. I know all bat lore. Just like Black Manta knows all islands and fjords, Batman knows all bat lore.
Yeah.
His favorite Pokemon, Zubat. We all knew it.
Which one is more useless? The Batman ability to know all bat lore,
Yo,
or knowing
based
all?
on the number of random like bat shit he goes through,
Yeah.
I think the island stuff is less useful.
No, the island stuff is very useful.
I can
You
look-
always find a vacation place.
It depends on your definition of useful.
Yeah, I suppose that's
yeah.
true. Yeah. But like when Barbatos rolls up, I was gonna want
That's
Batman to be
true.
ready to go.
Yeah, I'm not gonna need to know the name of every island in the world.
Oh, they don't all have names.
So obviously the Justice Leaguers are gonna have to fan out. They're gonna call in everyone, any auxiliary healers, any associates, everyone. It's an all hands on deck.
All hands, yeah.
All hands. Everybody get out there.
Simultaneous monster attack.
So like Gotham will be mainly defended by the Bat family, which is hilarious to me. But it's the Bat family, so at the same time, I'm like,
Okay, there's a lot of them.
they'll be fine.
Seems to be one of the smaller Titans, kind of. I can't really tell, but yeah, he's pretty big.
Pretty big. And he's got
Yeah.
like a lot of spikes.
Yeah, that's a
At what point is
lot
the
of
Joker going to
spikes.
ride this thing?
Right now, the Joker does not show up in this book. I'm sorry to tell
Oh.
you that.
Well, that they saved that for the sequel.
Please no.
I've poisoned it. It's got big pink lips now.
Great,
God.
thank you. So we've got obviously Batman riding with Damian, Nightwing, Babs is there, Jason Todd, Cyborg is going to head to Gotham, and Black Canary is on her way too.
Okay.
So we got a couple of more superpowered individuals.
Right.
Off to Themyscira, it'll be Wonder Woman and Ollie. Because they're going to meet up with Wonder Girl there, and obviously all of Themyscira.
Yeah, they're
like,
all-
out of all the places, you probably could send the fewest folks to Themyscira
Yeah.
because you still have the entire Amazonian army fighting.
You probably don't need to send anybody, right?
Yeah, you're probably. I mean, like It's pretty big.
It is
though.
pretty
It's
big.
pretty. It's pretty. It's
Yeah.
called Behemoth too.
Yeah.
As they're flying over, like, or towards there, because like Ollie's like, I don't know which is worse, the sidecar or you just hanging on to me. They notice down below a massive land that shouldn't be there. It's an island.
See? She also knows all the islands.
So really kind of diminishing Black Manta's abilities then.
So yeah, that's not an ability, man. That's just knowledge. Lots of people have that.
Yeah, it's called Google. I asked Siri and it told me what island it was.
Or just education.
Right?
Most people have that.
Yeah.
Not really a power.
I mean, when you live on an island, you know the islands around you.
But knowledge is power, Ethan.
Well, that is... But not a superpower.
No, that's true. The two of them decide that Ollie's going to stay on the island. They
What?
They look around for a little bit, and inevitably they're going to decide that Ollie will stay there. She's got to go.
Right.
She's
So
gotta
like
go help
somebody
back.
should check out this island thing, but I really
Literally
need to
that. Ollie's
defend.
like,
And it should be you with no powers.
Ollie's
will take hours.
He says, I got this. He's like, don't worry, I got this.
Okay. How?
Because he's
They
got
check in like an hour later. How much of the island have you explored? I would estimate about 0.1%.
I fell in a hole.
He's in the same spot. He's just drinking out of a coconut.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got it mostly covered. It's yep. Standard island stuff so far.
Stand on stuff, nothing out of the ordinary. Rumble. I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, it's thunder. It's fun. Don't worry about that. Meanwhile, back at the Legion of Doom, Black Manta and Cheetah are trying to account for everyone. When they came back from Skull Island, everyone didn't go back to where they started. They went different places. They figured out where everyone is except for Toyman. They're like, okie
The
dokie.
most important one. Who
Right.
has the thing that'll do the thing. to end
Exactly.
this,
And they're
yeah.
like, all right, so he's responsible for bringing the monsters here. That's what they figure.
Right.
Right? But, like, is that good or bad? We don't know.
Right. Do we want these monsters here?
Yeah,
We are bad
exactly.
guys, but they're pretty big.
Back in Metropolis, Lex like is like, duh! Like doesn't know where he is for a second.
Yeah.
Mercy, his bodyguard, assistant, random, whatever you need her to be.
Look at this picture.
I
Godzilla's
like
just
like this fighting Superman in the background.
It's awesome.
Lex is like, we'll go to the bunker. I need a full download on what's happening. Full download. I need to know everything.
Is he gonna like kick into like I have to save the Earth mode, or I have to exploit this for my own gain mode?
What do you think?
Probably the latter. It depends on which Lex we have here.
Right? So Superman's still trying to get Godzilla to leave. He's like, come here. Come here.
We're going the wrong way.
Just whistle for him.
Yeah. So Hawkgirl shows up, hits Godzilla in the head.
Oh,
It really
great.
doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, cool. Jimmy Olsen runs up, is like, Lois, we gotta leave. Like,
Also, like, it's been at least an hour.
right? It's
The
dark.
moon is rising.
Right? Maybe it was like on the cusp. I don't know.
Yeah, it was Twilight.
She's just kind of watching this. Has this moment though, because like Jimmy's like, that thing's like really big.
like really big.
Really big. But like,
How come Superman doesn't like fly into its mouth and like explode out of its back?
right?
So that it's
Because
like
he's Superman. He's like, I feel
Yeah.
bad. I don't know what this thing is.
Exactly. I'm not just gonna kill it.
So
nobody's being killed by this thing.
No, I mean,
By
like,
Godzilla, like stomping around in the
No,
city
there were
streets.
evacuation
they have
protocols.
Right.
the Flash.
Yeah.
Jimmy, like, essentially is like Superman, but it's never faced anything like Superman. I mean, admittedly, it hasn't. So we go back to
Right.
Gotham where we get another look at this thing, which is just like, it's just,
Ah!
it's so funny because it's
horrifying.
like you got Godzilla, iconic, right? And then you
Yeah.
go to Gotham and it's just like, of course you got this one.
This mess.
Regardless of Bat, like, of course you got this one.
Oh my god, I see the bat signal in the background. I'd love it if
Yes.
this would just mirrored it over the moon.
Right? Just,
Oh god! They finally did it! They summoned the Batman!
yeah. Batwoman also shows up in her bat plane. So you got Bruce, Batwoman, bat planes. They fire at it. Its skin is too tough. It does nothing. I love Nightwing and Babs just like, cool. But why are they here? Right.
I can't get up there.
But they're here to obviously help with collateral damage because
Right.
obviously this thing is causing damage
Right,
in
it's
the
like
city.
flying into
And
stuff
so they're there to try to get as many people out as possible. While they're doing that and trying to get as much info about it, because like Cyborg's on his way to help with that, right? And they're just trying to get as much downloaded data that they can from it in order to formulate a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Todd is like old school, impatient, what we all think.
I'm taking
of
it
when we
now.
think literally that. He's got his gun out and he's just like, I got a lock on it. I can shoot it in the eye. Can't. It's not going to be tough.
It's an
there. I'm
eyeball.
Right.
going to get
I
it.
bet its eye isn't armored.
And like Batman's like, do not do that. We need to keep its attention up here and not down there where the people
Where all
are
the
trying
people-
to escape.
yeah.
Like, I need to keep it flying around up here until Cyborg gets here. We figure out what to do. And he's like, listen, I'm not one of your little soldiers, man. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Right.
And so like Cyborg's like flying in. He's like, one more minute, Batman. It's like, that's not the problem. He takes the shot.
Oof.
He shoots it right in the eye, and that thing whips around and shoots a huge, like, sonic blast out of itself, blowing up the perch from where Jason Todd is, raining rubble down on the people below. Just then, another sonic scream is emitted, destroying the rubble. It's Black Canary. She got there just in the nick of time.
Yay.
Right?
Oh, they can echolocate at each other.
Right, just, get him out of here.
Scree.
So now Jason Todd's gonna be like, see, no problem. I told you.
Yeah.
You know, she saved him. It's fine.
Yeah, he's just like, well, Dick is like, we told you not to do that. He's like, well, I thought I had it. It's just, whatever.
I mean, I did have it. I shot
You
it in the
did
eye.
shoot it in the eye, it just
Now I'm gonna
didn't
get
kill
back
it.
up on another
Yeah.
perch. I'm gonna shoot it in its other eye.
Yeah, the two
Yeah,
of
that'll be
them,
blind and
like-
flying around like crazy. That'll be great.
Dick's like, why don't you just stop your freelancing and just listen? And he's like, oh,
Right.
you're trying to be Batman now? And then Barbara just punches him in the face. So
Yes.
Jason Todd is down for the count.
Good.
Like, we taking him out of the
Oh
picture.
my God! Shut up,
Shut up.
Jason.
They realize that the bat's sonic cry is probably also a weakness that they can exploit. And so Cyborg is formulating a plan on that, but they need more data and they need to build something. What are they gonna do? I'm not gonna
To
keep this
build a
one.
great
It's a giant
machine.
bat call, right?
Like,
We're
they're-
gonna lead it out.
They are going to build an amplification device, and they're going to get the frequency with which the bat is shrieking, and then Dinah is going to match a frequency similar to that, scream into it, and knock this thing out.
Because she has perfect pitch, you see.
Yes, she can do it.
Okay.
Okay.
But
And then what's gonna happen to it when you do that?
They'll knock it out.
Yeah, and then it'll
No.
fall and crash
It'll be
into
knocked
Gotham
out.
and cause even more destruction.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And so that is what they do, but they have to keep it busy long enough. And so as they're doing that, like they eventually get to the point where like Cyborg's ready for it. They're like, we need another like blast from it because we need to be able to get its frequency.
Right.
Batman's like, got it. Flies his bat plane into it, causing it
He,
to
like, rams it?
Yeah, he just destroys the bat plane.
Oh, like a suicide
I
run, but
think
he jumps
the
out.
artist and writer forgot that Damien was in the plane, so we just have to assume that
But
he got
Damien's
out.
dead.
Nope,
no,
he's
dead.
dead.
He
Nope,
shows
he's
up
dead.
later.
Damn it.
I'm
Oh, no, there he is.
Oh, there you go. But he has no way of like Batman has like a bat
Batman has a
parachute.
chute.
He just I think they just were like just
And he landed somehow. And he's
there
getting
he is. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
He's smaller. He'll have less weight.
Yeah, he's
Plus
lighter.
got more air
Think of it, the
resistance.
editor's like, you gotta add Damien escaping. There.
You didn't draw a parachute. I put him in.
And whatever.
He doesn't
So,
get one. He's
he doesn't
Damien.
get one. Shut up.
He's pulling it lower.
He just does a ninja roll when he lands.
yeah. He's just in the League of Assassins or
He goes,
whatever.
Yeah.
Parkour.
Yeah. Huh. I'm cool. Guys.
Well, he's small.
Who saw
you know,
that?
he's like an insect. Insects can fall from a very great height and it doesn't hurt them because they're so light.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Jason, you got him? Oh.
I thought Jason had him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we knocked him. Well, we took
No,
care of a whole
well.
bunch of problems that Sal has. So Dinah, in fact, screams into it, knocks it out. It falls in the park, and we get this dope image of Batman just walking away from it. Just not even looking
I'm
back.
not gonna look at it. Yeah.
It's like an explosion, but better.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything, Batman. I mean, he did fly the bat plane into
Yeah,
it.
he
but,
kept it busy and yelled at
Yeah.
Jason.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we gotta deal with Godzilla, because, like, what are we really here for? We're not
Yeah.
here
Not for that bat thing.
for that bad thing.
Whatever that was. You said the name. I already
Kama-
forgot.
Kamazats.
Kama-
Kamazats?
Chamomile.
We're not here for Kamazats. We're here for Godzilla. So back in...
And King Kong.
and
Where's King Kong?
Yeah, well, listen, we'll get plenty of King Kong.
Rod and King Kong are having, a time.
Yeah.
Right.
So Hawkgirl and Superman are hitting Godzilla in the face, and they realize they're just kind of bugging him,
Yep.
right?
He's just too big.
It's just too big. And so all they want to do at this point is just get him out of the populated area. Like,
Yeah.
that's the best they can do. They're like, we're not having an effect. We need to figure this out. He just needs to not be in the middle of Metropolis or get further in as they're trying to evacuate people. Like,
Right.
if you think about it, if they can get, like, the initial area, great. That buys them time. But if Godzilla's just progressing into the city more and more,
Yeah.
it just makes everything harder,
Yeah, it's
right?
just more destruction.
Why doesn't Superman just fly back over the water and then like turn back and like shoot it with his heat vision until Godzilla like comes after him?
Great question. Well, because Godzilla, because
he's flying around him and stuff, like, you're making it more complicated.
Tried to pull out and he didn't go.
I guess, yeah. So I guess you said he was there for Superman, but if he keeps going further into the city, I guess he's not. There's something else drawing him.
Right? Or it's just because he's Godzilla and like he can't help himself.
He's just like, I don't know. I love cities.
It just feels good under my feet.
Look, it's nice to be dry once in a while.
Right.
I'm in the water all the time.
But, I mean, he's pretty, like, not in the city. Like, he is
he's right around the
but
edge.
He's, like, close to the edge. So it's
Yeah.
like, he's not really progressing. But I think Superman is also thinking, like, 9 times out of 10, they just keep going.
Right.
So I got to prevent that at all costs. Hawkgirl gets hit by Godzilla's hand, just like, whap. She's going to go down, but don't worry, Shazam shows up.
Oh, everybody's here.
Grabs her, Captain Marvel, whatever you want it. I'm not making a commentary or critique. I just call him Shazam.
We don't have a position on what he should be called.
None of
We
that.
just pick one.
They even call him Shazam.
Well,
Yeah.
now they call him Shazam.
Yes.
But always be Captain Marvel to me.
Right? What else would you like to see? Well, wouldn't you love to see Superman blast his heat vision at Godzilla's own, like, blast?
Yeah, the
Yeah, don't
radiation
worry,
breath.
we are going to see that.
Yay! Is
That
it gonna like
Yeah,
seesaw
like,
back and forth?
Literally, right? Like, it's just, like, so you can imagine Godzilla being all like, wah, 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 wah. Superman just like, wham, right?
Nice.
And like,
Meanwhile, Supes is like, yeah, me too.
yeah. You're just making the noise. Shazam's like, okay, they're at a standstill, so like Superman needs some help. I have a great idea because don't forget, he's a child.
Right.
Right? And so what he decides to do is he flies up on top of Godzilla's head, and like Superman's like, don't do it! And he's like, too late, and he yells,
late.
Shazam!
To like call the lightning down.
Yep, he turns back into Billy Batson on top of like Godzilla's head. It does like stop Godzilla from using his radiation blast.
Oh.
But now a human child is just
Right.
plummeting
Now
off
Superman
of
has to
Godzilla.
save somebody.
Yep.
And it also only stopped Godzilla for a second. Like it didn't.
Yeah, it didn't actually do anything.
Jeez.
Godzilla just powers back up and like he's like, I need you to turn back right now. So like Billy goes to start saying Shazam, but isn't able to. So Superman takes the full blast of Godzilla's radiation.
Oh wow.
So
And
two-
just like
just clutching Billy just to keep him safe, right?
Yikes.
And they just plummet from the sky, and Superman just lays in the street, burnt by Godzilla's breath. Great image.
that's awesome. And Billy still hasn't turned back into Shazam.
No,
like,
because he's just like,
like, oh, super, like, just turn back, just turn back.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're freaking me out.
So we gonna go check in with Central City because don't forget, Central City also under attack.
Yeah, which one was the
Central
Spider
City-
one?
Yes,
Scylla?
that's Scylla.
Yeah.
The Spider Cthulhu one.
Yeah.
Iron Heights Prison is there. There's a bunch of villains in there. So Flash immediately goes there just to check, and he's just like, there's this like fog emitting from this thing, which is like super cool to me. How Cthulhu-y, how Eldritch, right?
Yeah, it brings its
Yeah,
environment,
its environment
the spooky
there. Very
environment with
cool.
it. Yeah.
But Flash is like, all right, first I got to deal with the villains, then I'm going to deal with this guy. So he goes in there and he's like, all right, any way I can convince everybody to just kind of go back in. No, they all start piling on Barry. Barry notices that the fog is slowing him down. And so eventually the villains are all just like, pile on Flash! And they
Oh no!
start punching.
Yay, finally!
So it's like
Is
an
it like a
anti-speed
sleep
force fog. Or
Yeah, it's just, it's
it's just to make the Flash a little easier to defeat.
never addressed.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
Explained.
He runs through the air, but when the air is thick with fog, he's like, oh, all these water particles really hurt.
Yeah, oh, I don't like this. Just assume it's whatever Scylla is doing.
It's his magical speed dampening fog.
Exactly. But not to worry, Kara shows up. She takes down most of the villains, if not all of them. Most of them.
Why didn't she use her super breath to blow away the fog?
But she does.
Oh, okay.
She does. But like in doing that also like is like, yeah, right? She gets rid of the fog. Barry can be fast again. Hal's also there. As Supergirl is standing there, she suddenly realizes, I can't hear Kal-El's heartbeat. I always hear his heartbeat, and I don't. I have to go.
Oh
So
boy.
she leaves, and they're like,
Giant monster?
do you want to take him with you? Like on your way out? Just grab him by like one of the tentacles, just take him? Just throw him into the sun or something? No? Okay.
No.
Okay.
I'm guessing she can't because Superman should have been
No,
able to
I
pick
know.
up Godzilla,
But
but
they
he
don't
didn't,
know
so
that.
they're too heavy.
They-
That's
they
true.
don't know that.
She should try it.
Our plan for Scylla is we're going to boil a giant pot of water.
Right.
like a giant crab or lobster.
Yeah, and we're gonna put some Old
I'm
Bay
just
in
gonna
there.
try to get it in there.
Just come on.
Come on, get in the pot. Get in the
Hit it
pot.
with the lid. Hit it with the lid.
It's okay, he doesn't feel it.
So we cut back. We need to buy anyone time to get Superman out of there. Luckily, Atom Smasher shows up. He's really.
What?
I knew this question was gonna happen.
And you're
Sal
like,
was
I don't know.
Sal was like, "Don't worry, they're not gonna ask."
What?
Why wouldn't
I
we?
believe Atom
You just said
Smasher's
Atom
been
Smasher.
referenced maybe before on the show,
Yes.
but
He runs in. He like tries to take down Godzilla, and Godzilla takes him down. Like that's it.
he's really big.
Yeah, he's really big.
Okay.
That's it. They like
He's as big as
he's as-
Godzilla.
yeah.
yeah, he's able to get as big as Godzilla.
Right,
And then
okay.
he goes down. And like
But it does buy
they
them a
think-
few seconds.
Okay, here's the thing. Billy says it killed them. Saying it killed them, as in Superman and Atom Smasher. And I'm like, that is also never addressed.
Right. Is he dead?
I don't know. No one cares, apparently.
Right. Nobody cares.
But Billy is sure of it.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Atom Smasher goes, when he's hit, so that implies he's still alive.
Right, but then it bites him.
Oh.
But then Godzilla bites him.
That's true.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then goes
he,
ka-thud.
he goes right for the sleeper joint.
Yeah.
He's just stunned.
Godzilla's like, shh.
What the hell are you doing? The Vulcan neck bite? No, you idiot! It's lower, where the neck meets the shoulder.
Oh, like this?
Yeah!
I'm dead.
Oh, I also have an artery there. That's probably a
Oh yeah, that's
yeah. If you
yeah.
bite it,
yeah.
then that's
oh,
gonna-
ouch.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's probably not good. Billy's like,
Billy, turn back into Shazam, for God's sakes.
so like,
Just a liability.
Billy's like, I have to distract Godzilla. He doesn't know what he's called. I have to distract it.
The monster.
Until it's like, so you can get him out. I have to fix what I did this. Because Billy completely blamed. He's like, this is my fault.
It is your fault.
This is entirely my fault.
That
Like,
is-
I
yeah,
killed Superman.
Correct. Yes. Yes,
He
you
turns,
did.
he turns back into Shazam.
Well, he yells the name Godzilla.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Lightning strikes him and he becomes another giant
But
lizard.
then Godzilla becomes a big Shazam.
No, Godzilla becomes a big child.
A big Billy Batson. Yeah.
Ah!
Oh, where are my scales? Oh, what are these things? Oh, I don't like this.
It's the ultimate buddy cop movie you didn't know you wanted. So Shazam is like, I'll lure the monster out of the city, but first, and he goes to punch it, and Kara shows up at the same time. They give Godzilla a good punch and do more damage to the city than Godzilla was doing on his own.
Right, because he fell over in an uncontrolled way and crushed a bunch of buildings.
But, you know, according to the insurance
did
companies,
stop.
it was Godzilla that
But
did that.
admit it, yes, this was an act of Godzilla, not God. And so, admittedly, this is kind of an interesting, like, example of why Superman likes to try to keep things like calm and cool, because this is what happens when people get angered and rageful, like
Yeah.
full of rage. It's like they shouldn't have done this. They should have been able to think clearly enough that
Right.
like this would.
Yeah, but Superman being down probably
yeah.
Kara's like, I have to stop the problem now.
Yes, but
because
she's also
Superman's
like
dying
she's
or dead.
furious too.
Yeah.
And like they're like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. Hawk Girl, get him out of here. Go to the fortress and wait for me. This is only important because one of the villains is Captain Cold's sister. And so when the like random Legion of Doom characters show up in order to recruit other villains to join the Legion of Doom, he gets real mad about it and shoots Flash with like the most amount of ice possible.
Oh.
So then like Green Lantern is torn away from his fight and like almost taken down.
Oh.
But let's cut away.
We do cut away. The rest of that story is just that Flash frees himself by vibrating like, you know, through the ice.
Yeah.
But not before the Legion of Doom leaves. You know, he's like, I gotta help Hal. So he makes, you know,
Yeah, just this
tornado-y
whirlwind
cyclone
tornado
things,
thing,
right?
yeah.
In order to help fight Scylla. Kara shows up and they inevitably drive Scylla back into the ocean. That's it. That's all you need to know there.
Okay.
On Themyscira, which we barely
So they're putting it in the water, and then they're going to boil
Oh, they're
it.
gonna
Yeah.
boil it. All right, Kara,
And
now
Kara
super eat
just-
it.
Flash
Also, you
eats the
could
water.
completely destroy the ecosystem in
Yeah.
the ocean.
Yeah.
But there's
Right
going to be a
outside
feast for days.
Oh, yeah. Get everyone.
Just like Behemoth. The Themyscirians are going to take him down.
Yeah.
And have a giant mammoth roast.
Yeah.
Wonder Girl and Wonder Woman show up. I mean, look at Themyscira. They're out there. They're out there doing their thing. There's like a giant, like, you know,
Ballista.
trebuchet. Yeah, that's what it is. It is a ballista.
Yep.
There's a giant ballista.
awesome.
They're going to use that ballista. That ballista,
Yes.
that is in that image for a reason, because Diana's plan is to talk to it. So they're like, Wonder Girl, you tie your lasso to the bolt. I'll tie my lasso to the bolt. Then what we'll do is we'll basically, like, you know, Legolas him and swing around him.
Oh.
And we'll try to communicate with him. You know, he's angry And we want you to just stop hurting our people, please. And they're like, oh wait, I feel his agitation waning. Wait, nope, it's being redirected. They both fall off with their lassos and it leaves. Something's calling it.
Oh.
So like the Themyscirans really do well. Obviously, this has to do with the armies of Themyscira.
Yeah.
They didn't I
They're
don't think any
prepared for
buildings
giant
were.
monsters.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
yep, got it.
No, we're good.
Yep.
Also, we didn't build skyscrapers.
Yeah,
What? We don't need that.
no, we're good.
Yeah. There's
got a
less
couple
for to
temples, we're good.
destroy here, really.
Behemoth leaves. So we check in on
So we've
Skull
stopped
Island.
all the monsters now.
Yes, all the monsters are
Leaving or down.
Yes, or
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
So we go to Skull Island because we haven't checked in with Ollie in a while. And it's going as well as you'd imagine, which is to say not well.
He's running for monsters.
He is.
Oh my God! Look at that rhino.
Yeah.
Does he
And-
bother shooting any arrows, or is it like
oh,
there's no
he's
point?
He shoots an
I'm
arrow
useless here.
to save himself.
Ah.
Like he uses
Oh,
like
to,
as a
swing
swing out of the
around,
way, right?
yeah.
But it doesn't work out and he ends up falling and Kong sees him and he's like, uh-oh, hi.
Oh.
Kara shows up. This is really interesting because you got Kong facing a blonde woman.
Huh.
Really? Kong immediately is like, oh.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, my type.
Heck.
Which I thought was like for a second I thought was gonna happen was that Ollie was gonna like Hood was gonna fall down and he was gonna see that Ollie had blonde hair and be like,
Oh.
Pick you up.
Would be
I
fun.
like you.
I'm just gonna.
Oh God, what's he doing?
All right, I'm just gonna have to let this happen.
Cool.
Cool. Hello, anyone? Anyone?
It's getting weird.
Kara is Kara, and so she decides that like she's gonna like be like, I'm not what you think I am, and she punches him in the face. She's like, I
Yeah.
warned you, don't touch me.
Yep.
And so the two of them just stare at each other, and that's literally what they do. They have a staring contest because Kara's trying to show she's not gonna back down.
Right.
Ollie's like, this is stupid.
She's like, no, I can't show weakness.
Yeah, you're wasting time.
Whatever you do, don't smile at him.
Show him your teeth.
To answer your question about what we were gonna do about Kamazats,
That.
the bat thing in Gotham, they're utilizing a heart rate dampening device to keep it out.
Okay. Some sort of
like an
electronic
anti-pacemaker?
signal. Oh, it's Cyborg's there, so they can get away with saying crap
Yeah, it's
like
totally
that.
fine. You got Cyborg and Batman there. They figured it out.
Yeah. They did some technical
If you had
science.
Mr. Terrific here too, you'd be like, obviously, and then they reverse engineered where he came from and then sent
Yeah.
him back.
Well, we're broadcasting a frequency that dampens his heart.
Exactly. So they talk about how like all the others retreated. Batman puts together that's like seemingly some sort of dog whistle, but like from where? Cyborg's trying to triangulate where it is. It's somewhere southeast. He doesn't quite know. Shazam shows up because like he's like I didn't know where to go, and so he goes to Batman, and he's just like
Makes sense.
it's my fault. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like Superman is dead. They're like, we have to tell Lois, and Batman's like, no, no, he's not dead. He's not dead
in a
until
healing coma.
He's like until I see.
We've been here
him."
before.
Yeah, no one says anything until I see Clark. I was like, okay, this is a Batman that is more akin to the Justice League show, too. Where he's just like, nope, Superman can survive anything, and I don't buy it. He's fine.
Right.
I'm not losing my friend. All right? I have like one friend.
I will take care of it.
Who isn't Jim Gordon. And he's kind of a father figure, so
Is Jim in this?
no. Thank God. Jim's just like, what the why is it always bats, man?
He slept through the whole thing.
This was you, wasn't it? Somehow you're responsible, Batman.
Jim's entire thing was, chunk, just gonna go.
Do your thing. This is not mine.
This will be fine. What am I gonna do?
This is not in the police training manual.
Yes.
Giant bat creatures.
Nope.
Dr. Langstrom?
Yep. No. He is in this too he's a background character. Anyway,
Is he also enamored with
no.
Amethyst?
He's just like, no. Thankfully. Lex Luthor is doing something. We'll find out more about that later.
There's a big glowing red ball.
There's a big glowing red ball. Seemingly, possibly, the device that's creating the sound. We'll learn more about that later.
Oh, I think Monarch. That sounds like Monarch did something.
Right. So there's like one page of it. It's not worth talking about it right now. We just know it's like dun dun dun. Lex Luthor's doing things. Anytime Lex Luthor's doing anything, it's kind
It's
of like
bad.
it's not gonna be good.
Yeah.
Except that time when he was good, and then it was fine.
And the time I was Australian.
Yeah. And kind of more recently too. He was also not Australian, but also a good guy. Anyway, we see the like cleanup of Metropolis. We make sure we get some firefighters in there.
Yes.
They're doing their thing.
They're doing their thing.
We see like Anna Smasher being carried out, and again, it's like,
Is he dead? What's the?
I don't know because you see like Bruce talking about you don't die here, and they're talking about like they're not talking about Atom Smasher, but it is
Right.
overlaid over that.
Right.
It's like Bruce talking to Clark in this like bubble. They put him into a
put him in a
device
bubble.
within the fortress in order to hopefully bring him back. But like the fact
what do we
is,
do? I guess there's this chamber here.
Yeah.
Maybe we put him in the chamber.
Yeah.
I don't really know. He
Right.
never told me how any of this works.
They're utilizing solar energy in order to hopefully jumpstart like cellular regeneration, but they don't seem to have that. They also can't find a pulse, right? They're like, does he have one? We don't even know. And Batman's like, he's got a pulse.
I mean, he
What?
has a heartbeat, so
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, Batman's just real upset.
Right.
Which is interesting. It's just like he's not the typical like calm, cool, put together kind of Batman. He's very just like a little emotional about this, right? And they're like, he just needs time to process. I thought Batman had left the room. Like it looks like he left. Batman just went over here. So you can clearly just. I heard what you said.
I went across the room. Yeah. What?
So anyway, Batman has put together that like they knew that they took the two items, the mother box and the sled. But Batman also notices the Dreamstone is gone. So he's like, clearly that was what has happened here. He's put it all together because he's Batman.
Yes.
He's not. He may not be like calm, cool, collected Batman, but he's
Right.
still Batman. So like they're gonna get Calyx back up, and they're gonna try to figure out if they can confirm what Batman thinks.
Yeah.
is
What,
happening.
what was the
Oh,
last
good, they
thing you
didn't take
remember,
Calyx.
Calyx?
No, the Calyx just like they never got a chance to. Gigantos
Yeah,
was supposed
it
to
all
grab him.
fell
It all
apart.
fell apart immediately, right?
Yeah. I love how that plan just immediately
I know,
collapsed.
but I love
'cause
the fact that he had a plan.
Yeah,
like
he had a
Lex is like,
plan.
this is my plan. I'm talking about taking Calyx with us.
And they were
I'm-
talking about how like our plans never work because like we can't get along.
There's
And-
infighting.
And
and, like,
immediately.
literally.
Yep.
that
See, this is
is-
what I'm talking about.
Which is funny because Toyman's the one that said it, and then Toyman was the one that did it.
Yeah. Well, he's projecting.
Yeah. Let's get along because I don't have friends. Anyway, we need to find the Dreamstone. Only way to get them back. Flash is like, got it. I'll start looking. Because Barry's the best person, right?
Sure. We can cover the most ground.
Yeah, exactly. Cyborg's like, I think I can help you with that because like he has ended up at the location where the beacon that was drawing the monsters was because it's not there anymore. Cyborg's like, I don't know where it is, but it ain't here anymore and it's offline. That said, the giant crab, Scylla, has submerged in the Atlantic, is off the grid. The behemoth is on its path towards North America, and Godzilla is on a trajectory to you at the fortress.
Oh.
And they're like, it's still coming for Superman.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to get him a place that he can't get him, which they have. It's the Watchtower.
Yep.
So they just take him
Perfect.
up to the Watchtower. Not a problem,
Nice. Then where's Godzilla gonna go?
right? He's gonna
He goes under
He goes
the
dormant.
watchtower and just like looks up.
Yeah, it's just like,
Point.
I'm gonna figure this out, and when I do, it's happening.
He keeps firing blasts at the moon.
Yeah, it's just, damn it.
Keep missing. I'm off by a degree.
I'm gonna math this one. Hang on.
Scratches some numbers into a building.
Yeah, it's just Ollie gives Kara a hard time about the staring contest that's happening, and they realize that like this creature is clearly territorial, but it's not acting like the one in Metropolis, so that's good. And then she's like, wait a minute, like she says something about Cal, and then recognizes that like King Kong's kind of responding, like Kong like has some understanding,
intelligence
and she's
there,
like,
yeah.
do you get what I'm saying? Ollie's like, yeah, no, it's a stretch, it's stupid, it's a big monkey.
Yeah.
It's like, could you,
dumb animal.
okay, can you keep your eye on the prize
You're
here?
not helping.
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna leave again. I need you to stick with the ape.
Yeah.
And
Keep
just,
staring at him.
Just
Don't smile.
no. Just keep an eye on him, but stay out of his way.
Hmm.
Because obviously you can't take him.
Right. Let him do his thing.
And Ollie's like, cool. He says, I love this moment. She leaves, they both look, then they look at each other, and Ollie just goes, hi.
King Kong
Hey,
just roars
how's
back
it,
at
how's
him.
it going,
Hey,
buddy?
How you doing? Ollie turns around because he thinks Kong's roaring at him, and he recognizes that no, there are things behind him, like shadows. And he's like, hang back, big guy. This is kind of a me-sized problem.
I can do something about these
Yeah, and-
ninjas.
And so he runs after them. It's League of Assassins.
What?
Oh.
Interesting.
He's like, all right, listen, whatever you're here doing is probably not good because
Yeah.
you're the League of Assassins. So I'm gonna take you out. So he starts trying to do that, and he gets kind
That's
of
a lot of assassins.
Yeah, he gets overwhelmed, but Kong shows up,
Yeah. He's
and like he lands, but it knocks Ollie off a cliff.
Yeah.
Ollie like grabs on, trying to hang on. He's like, all right. He sees a boat down there. Clearly, this is the boat that the League of Assassins came in on. And he drops down onto it. Dun dun dun. What's on the boat? It's clearly covering something up. What's
right.
going on here? We will find
Ollie's
out.
gonna do an investigation.
Ollie's gonna investigate.
Detective
'cause
Ollie's on the case.
He's going for it,
Yeah, after he
right?
breaks his collarbone from landing on
like,
a
totally
boat
fine.
from like
He's-
200 feet.
He'll do a ninja roll. He'll be fine.
He's like, there's no like.
Maybe he lands in the water.
Probably lands in the water and swims to it. But like, yeah, like Ollie's like, I know about boats. I have a yacht.
This is kind of my thing.
Yeah, shooting
Tell me,
arrows
Captain,
and
this-
yachts.
I'm the boat guy.
All about boats. I know where all the good islands are. My God is like, I swear to
Son
God.
of a bitch!
One more of you. Up in the watchtower, Hal, they finally got Lois. Lois goes up there and she's like, can I see him? She's like really upset. She has this really sweet conversation, very a la Trinity talking to Neo, where she's just like, listen, I hear your cells aren't accepting the solar array. That's not gonna work for me. I found this in your jacket pocket. She has the ring. And she's like, and it's beautiful. And the answer is yes. And so like, I'm gonna need you to put it on my finger. So I need you to get better. So everybody's like, damn, okay, cool. So like, we gotta go, because there's like an alarm going off. I was like, do you want me to like drop you back off?
Or-
Like, you want to stay?
You want to stay here?
You probably want to stay, right? Yeah. No, I shouldn't
That's
even ask. Okay,
Like, I should.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
Anyway, if you want to go back home, it's this button, not that button. That button puts you into a different dimension.
Yeah. I only have that.
You know what? Just don't
Don't
touch
touch
anything. Just
anything.
don't actually move. Just stand right there.
So Lois is like, I'm gonna stay, and Lois does what Lois does best, because like obviously she feels like everything's out of her contrul.
She writes a scathing editorial.
Yes.
Right. She writes the story of the century.
Why the world doesn't need a Godzilla.
There's like 1,000 reasons. It's the easiest article I
No,
ever
she
wrote.
starts like watching all the footage, right? She starts watching the footage they have of the fortress.
investigating.
And she starts investigating. She's like, I'm gonna figure this out. She's gonna crack it, and she makes a call. And so she wants
Her phone works up there.
yeah, apparently. They got really good service. Maybe it's a satellite phone.
Yeah.
Or it could be a very special device, because there's someone she's very specifically calling. And so like she's like, I need to know every move that Lex Luthor's made in the past 24 hours. They're like, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a redstone. All right, cool. Lois is on the case. Meanwhile, the Legion of Doom has kind of upped its numbers with a lot of Batman villains. They've all kind of been added in here. And they're all kind of chilling. And like the pitch that Captain Cold has is like, the Justice League, we're going to take him down. We're going to wipe out Flash and his Justice League friends. He's very focused.
Specifically Flash, though.
He's a Flash villain.
What about Superman?
I'm not a
little more-
Superman villain. I don't care.
Yeah, that's one of Flash's friends. I
Yeah.
said that.
He's among the Justice League friends.
Okay, well, he's a lot harder, so maybe we should think about that one first.
No. Flash. We got to take down Flash.
I agree with him. I think Flash is the most dangerous. How
that's
do
like-
you beat him? He perceives time at a slower rate than us. Like,
Captain Cold has already shot Flash twice. In
I
this.
know.
Yes, but
he
he
should've
got
been
out
able
like
to.
immediately.
Yeah.
So he's just like, my solution is cold based.
right. I think freeze them.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze is like, it's not a bad
I
idea.
vote freeze.
Okay, well, anyone else have another idea? The fact is, what they're honestly waiting for is to hear from Lex Luthor, who has helped out by going like, I'm doing my own thing, but also we've put out a hit on Toyman from who the hell is it? It's I was gonna call him Slade, but it's not.
Deathstroke?
Deathstroke.
Yes.
My brain thinks of him as Slade.
That's because that's his name.
Thanks, Teen Titans. So there's a hit out on Toyman. Deathstroke has taken it, so they're gonna find him that way. They're like, he'll do anything.
Was
for
he going
money.
to find him, or is he going to find him and kill him?
No, he's gonna find him, and
For the right price, he'll do whatever you want.
Right,
Because I guess they also want the stone back, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
if
they're like,
kill
we
him.
probably need that
It's
stone.
I mean, it's a dream stone. It allows you to grant wishes. Yeah, who doesn't want that?
Yeah,
Right?
even not to solve this problem, just in general, I want that.
But they do want to solve this problem,
Right.
kind of. So Cheetah also went with Deathstroke, I guess maybe to make sure that he does what he's supposed to, or because that's just like a fun pairing.
They're both stealthy.
Yeah. So they go to the last known location of Toyman where he arrived, and like they're trying to figure out like where he was, right? All right, cool. So they know that like he was where Godzilla showed up, but like that's all they've got. All of the imagery kind of cuts out. Like they only have X amount of camera footage before there's no more camera footage.
I guess because Godzilla smashes stuff.
Yeah.
And all the cameras get smashed.
Exactly. But like they inevitably we do see that like he like was desperate to be near Godzilla. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor is somewhere building shit.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's building stuff.
Because he can't help himself.
Building it with what? He's one guy.
So he's got like a bunch of robots.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
Lex bots.
robots.
He's got all the robots. The robots are doing
The
things.
robots are building
He's
super
pulled
fast.
all of his. He was working on a thing called Project Atlas. Doesn't bear any meaning on
Just
this
a random
book.
name.
It's just I was working on this. No, it's not. But in this world right now, I was working on this thing. I've diverted all my resources to work on this thing. It's how I can justify being able to do this so quickly. Also, really, what I'm doing is collecting a whole bunch of parts to build something. I think we can all figure out what he's building.
Yeah, giant mech suit.
What?
He can't help himself. Anyway.
It's got a spine and an eyeball and a
Oh.
foot. Also, Project Atlas.
Yes.
You can lift up the world.
Right? So he's working on this, but it's based off of, he's utilizing tech from their world to strengthen his own tech because he can't help himself. He's just like, yeah, awesome. Because he has a plan. Because he's like, the fact is, I know, based on reading all the Monarch files, that Godzilla, now we have finally someone name him, is the king of monsters.
Right.
We also have to call him by his
He's the most
title.
important one, yeah.
And that, he is
That's the technical term for it.
He's an unstoppable force. Yes, the technical term is King of Monsters. King of Monsters was my father. That's Godzuki speaking, I suppose. Anyway, he's an unstoppable force. His whole thing is maintaining balance. And so we need to manipulate...
But he can't maintain balance here because they're superheroes.
Right. And he doesn't know what to do with them.
Right.
Right? And so, we need to manipulate... We can't just straight up manipulate him into destroying the Justice League, but we'll lead him to do so. We'll figure that out. I got this.
What do you need a big suit for?
I'm going to make a giant Mecha Godzilla. Oh my god, really?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said we pretty much know what he's
Ben
making.
thought he was going to be in a
I thought it was going to be a human suit.
Why? We're in a book called Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, let's get some Pacific Rim in here.
I also thought that Toyman was going to pilot it.
Nope. So basically what's going to happen is all the pieces of Mecha Godzilla ended up there as well.
Interesting.
As part of the wish, I
part
guess.
of the wish. Yeah,
oh my
'cause those are
god, that
toys.
makes a lot of sense.
So Lex has been collecting all the pieces. So he says he's going to build a mechanized Titan because his plan is I'm going to prove to, I'm going to be able to prove to them that I'm the alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Cool.
So he'll then control all the monsters, he thinks, or something?
That's his hope.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
He's calling all the monsters.
beneath the sea. Because, what's Aquaman up to? Well, it turns out they were incorrect. There's another Titan that showed up. It's Tiamat. Or Tiamat.
Yeah, I saw him in one of the movies recently.
Yes.
I don't remember which one, but yeah.
Shows up. Is the undersea one. Aquaman's like, cool, thanks for coming. Atlantis is obviously having a real problem here because this thing's eating a giant squid. So just to kind of gauge you how big it is.
That's right.
I love this big crab.
Giant
just
crab's
being
going, come on, come here.
I got him. I can take him down, boss. Boss, I got this.
Let me at him. Let me at him.
Aquaman's like, okay, well, here's the thing. I tried to talk to him because these are the things you know about.
Right, that's what I do.
Yeah.
It's kind of my thing.
Kind of my thing. He ignored me.
He called me some terrible names.
Yeah, it was not very nice. So Barry, Hal, and Diana have shown up. They're gonna help out, and this becomes a real mess, real fast. This just becomes a total disaster down there. They're trying to keep him away from the dome. It starts spewing out this fog. They're like, it's just ink. Turns out it's electric ink.
Oh.
It's real bad. Hal's holding it off, but it's starting to break through. He's like, I can't do this forever, folks.
I get that it's electric ink, but it's also the water. The water will conduct electricity for you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it conducts it more.
Yeah. And it's probably also just not good in general. The point is Godzilla shows up because when Godzilla can't fight Superman, he has to keep balance, so he goes after Tiamat, who's doing shit. So the two of them start fighting, and they're like, let them fight.
Yes. This is good for us.
Yeah.
Why do I know that?
Right? They're just like, let them, this is okay. Except then Godzilla gets knocked into the dome because it's the fact is, regardless of what Godzilla is doing and for whatever reasons, he's huge. And so is everything he fights. And so when they fight, they're going to knock into stuff.
Yeah,
and we're fragile.
Right. And our stuff's fragile.
And so is our stuff.
Yeah.
And it's heavy and it hurts us. So okay, we need to push them away. They can have this fight.
Right.
But they need to have it over there.
The ocean's so big, and there isn't a big dome full of people in most of it.
Yeah.
We just need to be anywhere but
Just
here.
Not be here.
I have an idea. Bring them
Please.
to the trench.
Right?
Yeah. Oh my
And then
God.
just the little monsters come out and eat.
That's
Tiamat.
a really good idea.
That would be
That is not
awesome.
what's going to happen. Something more ridiculous is going to happen. So
Nice.
they're fighting.
Is Mara? Is she
Mara's
shown
there.
Up yet?
Mara's
okay.
totally there and acting like Mara.
Oh, she has power of water. She just creates an air bubble around Tiamat and just flops around.
So Diana and Hal and Flash, because Flash is like, they realize there's a beacon, right? That has called them down here, or to call Tiamat down here. That's why Godzilla came to stop that, right? So, okay. But Flash is like, if we get the beacon away, if we can find the beacon, wherever it is right now, around Atlantis, and I can get it away from here, it'll draw them away. So he goes to start looking for that, but immediately Diana and Hal end up getting like hit hard. And so Flash goes to try to save them. And like immediately, like someone in the army is just like, okay, this isn't working. This is not gonna happen. And like, I think it's Mara. Mara's like, your friends aren't gonna be able to turn the tide.
I love the idea of Flash trying to be effective underwater.
Yeah.
Right?
He just kicks really fast.
He kicks really fast. I get that. Oh, just because he runs.
Yeah, but his legs can move that fast.
Yeah, so he's
so
like,
You can't really run in the water.
yeah,
It's fine.
You can super swim.
he's like an aquafoil. So Mara's like, you have to activate the failsafe.
Oh.
And he's like, no, all right. So Aquaman swims somewhere and unleashes something.
Is it the Kraken?
Yeah.
Yay! That's awesome.
So like they're like, Flash is like, another one? And like Mara's like,
That's
no,
your answer?
this is the last line of defense, the mighty Kraken. And Hal goes, I'm sorry, seriously? He released the Kraken?
Just like in the movie.
Yay!
Do they control the Kraken?
I mean, like he's the guardian of Atlantis, so kind of. It's like
okay.
it's
So
kind of
like,
like
hey,
Odin.
Atlantis is in danger. Do your thing.
Do it. I mean, they do keep him like locked up, so like I don't know. I mean, I think he's just kind of happy to be down there, like no one bugging him.
Right.
He's like, all right, fine.
Hey, time to earn your paycheck.
Yeah, yo, get out there. So
Punch the monsters.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So if you were thinking, man, DC has a Kraken, wouldn't it be cool if Godzilla fought the Kraken? That's gonna
Here
happen.
we go.
Meanwhile, Kong has obviously taken care of the
Ninjas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That's supposed to be some kind of threat to me?
Yeah,
I don't
like what is that? Ollie gets on the ship from the water, looks under the tarp because there's like assassins coming, and he sees there's a big scary skull they have. Lois does her Lois thing up on the watchtower, and who is she talking to? We find out it's Mercy. She calls Mercy. Sometimes Mercy helps her out with info,
Really?
and especially when this is going down, she's like, I can't really help. Like, all right, listen. The monsters are Toyman's thing. This isn't Lex's fault. I mean, it's kind of Lex's fault, but it's definitely that. She's like, can you help?
Right.
Like, you got to help us stop him. Like, you know.
brunettes got to stick together.
Well, literally, Lois is like, the relationship here is that, like, when Mercy has recognized that Lex is going too far, she will feed Lois Lane some information. And maybe that information gets to Superman.
Right.
Or maybe Lois Lane uses it in some way, shape, or form, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Maybe
in the
she
public
puts it in
forum.
the paper or something. Yeah.
Right? And it's like, it's Lois Lane. You believe she found it from somewhere.
Yep.
Right? Totally
Yeah,
believable.
yeah. As long as it doesn't happen too often,
Exactly.
maybe Lex won't catch on.
Mercy asks, like, is it true that Superman's dead? And Lois is like, he is hurt but not dead. He's in bad shape. This is like, what makes Lex think he can control these monsters? And Mercy's like, it's called Godzilla. And she gives everything. She's like, he's the king of the monsters, explains his whole purpose, explains about Monarch from this other Earth. We have all the files. I'll send you what we have.
Okay.
Carrie hears all about this. Lois has to go through all this stuff. They send all that information to everybody. They're like, whew, Lois really came through here.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Now we have a name for this thing.
Yeah. But like, Lois.
That's how you control it, is by calling it a true name.
Yes. There's power in it. That's why the bad thing is hard for me to take down. Anyway, Lois admits that, like, she's like, I told Mercy that, like, Clark wasn't dead, but, like, how can we tell? And, like, Kara's like, he's not dead, but he is dying. I can tell you that right now.
Oh.
It's like, uh-oh. So, yeah, big underwater fight continues to occur. And so, like, the plan is Mara, Aquaman, and Flash are going to go try and find the beacon. Diana and Hal are going to attempt to keep this fight contained. Immediately, Tiamat is hit, going to go flying into the dome. So, Hal makes a big net, and Diana's going to try to pull it away. But then the Kraken just hits into Godzilla, and the two of them hit the net, and they just crash into the dome.
Oh.
Because the Kraken's like, I will fight anyone, anytime.
Yes.
I get let out so rarely.
I'm down. The dome is now been struck, and there's all these cracks all over it, right? And the city of Atlantis needs to not be crushed under the waves of the ocean.
Right.
Barry has the beacon, and so that will draw Tiamat away, right? But Godzilla wasn't there because of the beacon. Godzilla was there to fight Tiamat.
Right.
But now he's fighting the Kraken, because he's like, that is also
Right.
not right.
How we got to deal with the Kraken?
So-
Could we put the Kraken back?
Right?
Or-
We got to figure it. So Arthur and Diana are going to deal with that. They're going to team up.
I don't know if releasing the Kraken really helped the situation.
Right.
Because if they hadn't, then now they'd be able to draw Godzilla away.
Exactly, but it's fine. So Hal's trying to keep the dome sealed. And in doing so, like, he's really struggling.
He's using all his power.
He's
or
using all his
whatever.
power, but also, like, the pressure of the entire ocean is bearing down on him.
Oh, right.
So he's really not doing
Why
well.
doesn't he go inside the dome and try to seal it from the inside?
Because he didn't think about that.
Well, it's like,
Also,
I didn't
it's
have
not
any
like there's
time.
air inside. There's
He really
still
didn't
water.
have time. Like, he just goes, like, immediately, he was like, "Phoom, okay. Do you want the rest of the Green Lantern Corps to show up and save Hal's
and
bacon?
save, yeah, that.
That.
I guess that.
That,
Yeah.
right? You want Jon Stewart,
Yeah.
Jess Cruz, Guy Gardner, and Simon Bass to show up, save Hal and the dome. They're like, we got this. Aquaman, give your people as much time as they need. We will take it from here. Not a problem.
Nice.
Also, Hal, like, take a breather. He gets like a little like,
Also, get the Atlantean
you.
blacksmiths working.
right? So like, what were Aquaman and Diana doing? Well, they swam down to where the Kraken was released. The Kraken has pulled Godzilla down into that area, and they have locked up Godzilla. Presumably, the Kraken's like, that's cool. I'll just screw off over there. I'm like,
He can take my spot, it's fine.
I'm like less of an issue.
I work with Aquaman. I will protect the city,
Yeah.
but like now I get some vacation.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go around.
Right? And like Diana's like,
sights.
will it hold? And he's like, it's made out of nth metal. So it better.
So it should. So
It's
wait a
made out of
minute.
nth metal. Does that mean yes?
They keep the Kraken chained up?
Yeah.
So it's not really their, like, ally. It's
Yeah.
more like their prisoner.
Well, you know. Don't question this. It's the
Right.
Kraken.
Look, it's like a dog on a leash.
Right.
The dog's gonna get excited and try to run away.
Right. You do
I
need to
keep it
put it on that
contained.
leash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's friendly. It's not gonna bite me.
It's more like putting your dog in shackles.
I mean, like, but he likes being outside.
Right. But he likes to run around, and the Kraken ain't going anywhere with these chains that are like this long.
Right, right. But I mean,
He
like,
can't even really move.
you don't know how long they are. They go off page.
Yeah.
Oh.
Also, that's a lot of nth metal.
Yeah.
is,
I know,
yeah.
they're really kind of
Hogging it all.
Aquaman.
Well, containing the Kraken's very important.
It's a lot to do. So, all right.
It's not really like a dog. It would go crazy.
Right.
Or it's like not very well trained.
Right? It's really that.
Yeah, it was abused. There's not much you could really do with it.
It loves chasing ships.
So
Frickin' oil liners.
Ollie has found the skull, and he's like, all right, so I don't really have a lot of experience with League of Assassins, but because that's usually
Not really my
that's usually
villain,
Batman's
yeah.
issue. But like, all right, I know that whatever they're doing is probably bad. So I'm gonna need to take them down one by one because the only way I could possibly do
Weren't
this.
they all killed by King Kong?
No, there's a bunch of them still on the ship.
Oh, they never got off the ship. I see.
And so he's
Yeah,
like,
they're the ones that stay on the ship.
he crawls on out, and they're all just waiting for him. And immediately Ollie goes, I'm sorry, was I like saying that out loud? They're like, no. And so he starts firing arrows. He starts trying to take them down. But they are the League of Assassins.
Right.
And so that's not really going so well. So inevitably he just fires an arrow that explodes and shoots him off the ship. The League of Assassins are like,
That was weird.
he's so not worth it.
Yep.
Just keep going.
One guy.
We still have the skull.
We got what we wanted.
Plus, he's just floating in the middle of the ocean. What's he gonna do?
What are they gonna do with the skull? Was it like Pacific Rim where they're gonna like harvest material from it?
Right? So we get a quick update on all the data. Cyborg's like, that was a lot of data, super sexy. I loved it. Upload me more, baby. And so he and Batman are going over everything. They're going over strengths and weaknesses. They have all of Monarch's like what they know about them. They understand Godzilla's motives. They know that they haven't heard from Shazam. He's still MIA. He never came back after he like told Batman and then led Godzilla away or followed him, right?
Yeah, where'd he go?
Green Arrow is somewhere on Skull Island, right?
I'm sure he's fine.
And like Supergirl's gonna head back to check on him and Kong. Cool. And as far as we know, Kong is the closest thing we have to a buddy.
Right, because he's a
Like,
primate at least. He's kind of like a dude.
In terms of the Titans,
And he hasn't tried to kill anybody yet.
yeah.
But also, like, Kong and Godzilla have fought before.
Yeah, like Monarch's like, he's the best that we, like,
Yeah.
maybe you can sway him, right? So, like, cool.
How many bananas do you have?
Right? Not enough? That is the correct answer. We'll get more. Batman's all on board for making a 300-foot gorilla ally. He's like, I'm in. Let's do it.
Sure. Sounds dope.
By the way, have you checked my the plans I sent you? Cyborg. Yo, I'm down. Those sound great. How are we gonna do this? Like,
Do they bribe Godzilla with a giant penny?
yeah,
Here,
right.
this is your size.
Right?
It's money.
He's like, I give him the dinosaur, and he like breaks its jaw and then plays with it. So essentially, Batman's plan is to build something. Cyborg's
Oh,
like,
he's building something too.
he's building
Everyone's
something
building
too.
these
We
great
gotta build.
machines.
Gotta build.
Yeah.
And Cyborg's like, it's ambitious. I'm in. I can help you, but like, how are you gonna make this happen? He's like, don't worry, I got friends. The Flash is helping me. And he's like, but Barry's in Atlantis. He's like, there's like other Flashes, man.
Oh.
And so it's Wally and the Titans.
Hi, I'm Wally.
Yeah, Wally's there with the Titans. But we also see like Jay Garrick running around in the background. We
Okay.
see a bunch of the other Bat families here. Like,
They're just putting things together really
yep,
fast.
Mr. Terrific's there. Yeah, there's like
Okay.
it's all happening, right? We get Signal in there. Remember him?
No.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Signal?
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. They're just all in the background. Who cares?
Yeah.
But they're so when they're ready, Cyborg will show up to help. Meanwhile, they're gonna start building a cosmic treadmill.
Oh.
Oh, geez.
We got a lot going on.
We gotta
here.
go back in time.
No.
Oh.
Supergirl has shown up back to Skull Island, and she finds Kong like beating his chest, and Grodd's there with his whole gorilla army. They bow down to him. They're all just screaming, Kong, 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 Kong.
And Kong's like, yeah!
And like Supergirl's like, he doesn't care about that, man. That's not what he does. I can tell you that right now. And
Interesting.
yeah.
Where is this going with this gorilla army?
Grodd is like, I need to be back, Supergirl, so I prepared for that. She's like, your like mind control isn't gonna work on me. And he's like, you wanna bet? And we note that his little horn thing that he had on there is now green, like it's kryptonite or something. And somehow that allows him to control Supergirl.
I thought she just, like,
Wait.
got affected by it.
Nope.
I guess he's close enough to her that the kryptonite's weakening her.
So hear me out on this one.
Yeah.
So his mind control thoughts filter through the kryptonite.
Oh, they're kryptonite thoughts? She's weak to kryptonite thoughts.
Oh, yeah, that works.
This is one of those things where I'm just like, whatever.
That
Hey,
doesn't.
technically they're brainwaves.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, I got to see, yeah,
Yeah. I
whatever.
got some really cool images.
It's just Godzilla with Superman fly. Yeah, whatever. Fine.
Oh boy.
Cool.
Okay.
So she punches Kong. Kong goes down.
Oh boy.
Grodd's like, dope.
Oh, cool, that worked. Oh, I gotta find Superman.
Wait, weren't you just worshiping Kong? Now you're punching him in the face?
Yeah.
I'm very confused as
Yeah,
to
there's a
Gorilla
whole
Grodd's
lot. There's
plan.
a whole lot going on here. So here's what I think is interesting about this book, right? It seems like there's a ton going on. It almost seems
There's
like
a
it's
lot
like it's
going
like
on.
a lot of
It's like
random
it's
ideas.
like a lot.
Right? But think about this. Think about the idea of all of these kaiju arriving in the DC universe. All these random factions would have their own thoughts on what they were going to do. So it's like, this is weirdly very realistic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like, they're all like, yes, please. I can do something with this.
Yeah. This
know?
upset the status quo. Maybe I can
100%.
benefit from it in some way.
So,
Yeah.
meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom, Deathstroke and Cheetah are like, he's in Metropolis somewhere. We're still going to find Toyman. All right? Toyman's still on the run.
Right. He's the key to all of this.
That's the key to all this. We got to get Toyman working here, right?
I hate
And
Toyman so much.
they recognize that like there's like this signal that's occurred, and all the monsters are being called back to Metropolis. They're like,
Back to Metropolis.
they're like, oh crap, Deathstroke and Cheetah. I'm sure in their minds like, but that's where we are.
Wait, are you sure?
Could they not? But while that's happening, Cyborg's been reaching out to Shazam, being like, if you're alive, can you please check it? Are
Right.
you okay? What's
Where
going
are you,
on?
man?
Batman finally is like, listen, I understand what it feels like to take responsibility for something that was out of your control, but like it's not going to help you. What are you doing?
Hey man, what are you doing?
Yeah, like we need. Like we have like a certain amount of really strong guys.
Yeah.
You're like one of them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to fly around the Earth as fast as I can to reverse its spin to turn back time.
Yeah.
Why would that work?
Yeah.
What?
I saw it in a movie
It's not a
once.
stupid movie.
So like Billy, Shazam is just like, it's all my fault. Like if it wasn't for me, Superman wouldn't be dead. And he's just like, you're not like, this isn't how you're gonna fix this.
Yeah,
He's
moping
like-
is not gonna help
And he's
anybody.
like, if the Legion of Doom hadn't started, it wouldn't have happened. And Batman's like, are you at their headquarters? Did you immediately decide that you were gonna go and fight
Just
them?
Fight them by yourself?
Fight all of them?
And he's just like, I'm gonna make a pay. I'm gonna do it.
Maybe.
And Cyborg's like, okay, they've like a lot more of them than there were before. They recruited because a
Yeah.
lot of them got out, and they brought. So like,
Yeah.
I would not do that. Like, how about?
No, I'm gonna do it.
Batman's like, how about instead of doing that plan, you just fly over there and you keep an eye on them and you let us know
Right.
what they're
You
doing.
do recon.
And Billy's like, it's kind of late for that.
I'm gonna keep a very close eye on
I just
them.
landed.
Yeah, I'm actually talking to them right now.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta go.
Oh, that's a pretty good idea.
That's like a
Too
really
bad.
okay. So anyway,
Next time.
so he starts fighting them. See,
Yep.
Man-Bat's there.
Nice.
I don't know what the Penguin thinks he's gonna do, but he's there too.
Profit somehow.
Additionally, this is about the time that the other artist takes over, and he disagreed with what was being drawn before for Scarecrow. What we saw before for Scarecrow was a more modern James Tynion the Fourth version of Scarecrow.
Yeah.
This is the more classic version of Scarecrow.
Like,
he,
nah, he goes back to him.
he brought his other outfit. They were all like, "You look stupid."
Put on your
You
alternate
look-
costume.
You're very creepy right now. Like, we're all on board for being evil, but like, you're freaking me
Yeah,
out.
we're not that kind of evil. You're not.
You look like you're going to a German underground club. Could you just look like the regular Scarecrow?
You kind of look like you built a hookah into your costume.
You look like you smell like patchouli. Anyone else got one?
No,
I'm good.
I'm
Okay.
good.
Shazam takes a bunch of them down before eventually Giganta just gets really big and just punches him, along with the guy he was fighting, who was Blockbuster. And the Penguin goes, "Did Giganta just kill Blockbuster?" And Scarecrow goes, "Who cares?"
Who cares? Look at me now.
Wait. So wait, we're all just dispensable? Like, any of us could just be killed by another one?
Who cares? He's a crummy Batman villain no one gives a crap about.
Yeah, no one's gonna kill you. That's Blockbuster.
You're like the Penguin.
worry about- yeah.
You got cachet.
Yeah, don't worry, you're fine.
Yeah.
We can kill Blockbuster.
Yeah. You know.
I think we're all agreed here.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Nobody cares about Blockbuster.
Yeah.
He's the only one. Nobody else is expendable.
That's
right.
right.
Just like the store Blockbuster,
Exactly.
we can get rid of Blockbuster.
I thought he was dead already.
Yeah.
I'll
didn't
be
even
honest.
understand. When he showed up, I was like, what? What?
Oh, you're alive. Oh, okay. Cool.
I had to Google him. I wasn't sure. I was like, really? Okay.
Nice.
Before we jump into any more, we need to check in on what our villains are doing, right? So like we checked on the Legion of Doom. They're beating up on Shazam.
Yeah.
What's Lex doing? He's completed his work on Mecha Godzilla, and he's put his little power suit on. He is ready to go. This is a momentous moment for him. He's ready to show them who the Apex is, who the Alpha is. It's really funny because we've heard the term Apex Lex before. This is such a great moment to use it, but we don't because it's already been used.
Right.
I'd love
This
it
is
if
like
his
Alpha
suit
Lex.
Yeah.
was not compatible with the Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, he's just
like the code doesn't sync up.
Right. I will admit, I'm really impressed with Lex's, restraint on not making Mecha Godzilla green and
Right?
purple.
It's like, no, I'm just going to make him the way he
So-
is. I don't have
You know what it is?
time
If you had time.
for that kind of flair.
If
but
you had time.
Yeah.
One day.
One day. Exactly.
If we get through
Lot of
this,
paint.
you
Lot
know,
of paint.
we'll repaint
We're going to
it.
paint him.
Yeah.
What is the League of Assassins doing?
Yeah, what
is the League of
what
Shadows
is happening
doing?
with them?
Oh my God.
We're going to put the skull in the Lazarus pit.
That's brilliant.
What? What skull is it?
The
The Skull Devil.
Yeah.
The Skull Devil's skull.
Oh.
And some others.
Oh, there's multiple skulls?
Or there's just the Skull Devil, and then the Skull Devil calls the Skull Crawlers. There's going to be more of them later on.
Okay.
But that is the plan. Seemingly, the reason for that is chaos.
Right. to
it.
destroy all the cities in the world.
Just gotta know.
Yeah.
I have a giant skull. I want to see what
I gotta
what
go.
it was.
I got a huge Lazarus pit. What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
And obviously, it's gonna come back a little crazier. It's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. So we go back up to the watchtower. Everybody's kind of come together, and we're like, all right, cool. So it's been about 10 days since the Titans appeared.
Oh.
We really haven't done a whole lot, except shackle up Godzilla. So like we
Right.
got that, right?
And he's still shackled. So
Still
that's
shackled.
good.
We got that going for us.
I guess they fixed the dome. It looks better now.
Yep. Superman's down. Supergirl's missing.
Still dying.
Doesn't Godzilla need to breathe air?
No,
No.
he goes underwater all the time.
Remember, he's
They
like
go
sleeping.
underwater.
He sleeps
yeah,
underwater.
he sleeps
Okay.
underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where he is when you don't see him.
Yeah.
Like in between movies.
Yeah, he's like a big turtle.
I thought he always went like back to that underwater open air thing,
No, he
like
also
that
will
pocket.
he
That
can
was
hang out.
later. They made the
Yeah.
the-
But like he can just chill underwater.
like
Okay.
Hollow Earth thing
Yeah.
was found later, and that actually Kong goes down there. That's Kong's domain, is the center of Earth. And Godzilla rules on above.
Whenever's getting this footage, Godzilla's just yelling at him.
Come on, come on! I'll give you lots of power. Just unchain me.
Come on,
just always
I'm
mad.
totally cool now. I'm very calm. I'd like to go up top
Imagine him
now.
just screaming for 10 days
Yeah, just-
straight.
But he hasn't been down there for 10 days. It's just been 10 days since they appeared, right?
Oh, how long before he went to attack Atlantis?
We don't really have a
Like a
timeline
day
there.
or two.
Right, yeah, okay.
So Superman's down. Supergirl's missing. Shazam is likely hostage of the Legion of Doom.
Yep.
We don't know where Toyman is. And hey, Atlantis' dome was repaired, so that's a win,
Yeah.
I guess.
Aquaman's like, I
Questionably
can
on
leave
this
now.
couch if that matters or not.
I guess the Kraken effed off.
We don't really talk about that. It's
He went away. He's
whatever.
on vacation.
Godzilla, the beacon that drew Godzilla and Tiamat, I still submit that the beacon is not what drew Godzilla, but fine. I know it can.
It definitely helped.
And where did that beacon come from?
They explain it.
Oh.
LexCorp built one to mess with the heroes.
Just like a
'Cause
distraction.
It's like a way to try to get them to mess up the heroes or to kill the heroes, right? So like it was put down there probably by Black Manta. You have a sea-based villain on your
Yeah.
team. He's probably the one who's going to do it.
Yep.
I'd love it if like
He's like, I will
Cyborg got-
destroy Atlantis.
I love the idea that like I wish Aquaman was the one that said it. Probably Black Manta. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. It's a real problem.
I bet
Everybody.
it's him. Probably should have stopped
saying.
him. Probably should put all our efforts into stopping Black Manta.
Like you sound like Captain Cold, man. Godzilla's trapped. We got that going for us. So yeah, like they're like, well, if he's like the king of the monsters, like that's it. Like
Well, if he's king
That's
of the
great.
monsters, who's the queen of the monsters?
yeah, I wish. I wish. I'm hoping that for the sequel, guys. I am really. Come on, give that to me, please. But they are tracking the rest of them, right?
Right.
So like they're still tracking Behemoth, Tiamat, and Scylla.
Then looks like they're headed for New York.
They realize
Or
they're all headed for
Gotham.
Metropolis.
Yeah.
They're all going to Metropolis,
Well,
right?
yeah, because they chained up the King of the Monsters. He can't control them.
Yep.
He's chained up.
They
Yeah.
can't keep him in check.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But they're like, they did that not knowing any of this, right?
Right.
And they're like, honestly, it's just another player off the board for right
Right.
now because we can't. It's not like we can go like Godzilla. Could you please stop them?
Right,
We don't
we
know
don't
what
know
he's
what
gonna
he's-
do.
yeah.
We
To
don't
be
know.
fair, Godzilla killed Superman.
Well, yeah.
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 So you got
Great reason to chain him up.
Yeah, 100%. They don't know where Kong is. And yeah, so essentially prepare for the worst.
He's a 500-foot tall gorilla.
That's literally what Dick says. He's like, we lost track of a 300-foot gorilla and the League of Assassins. Cool.
Great.
Cool. This is why you have Batman on these things and not Green Arrow. I'm just saying, Ollie. This is why you're not part of the Bat family.
Ollie's like, I will kill people with this bow and arrow. I don't care.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's the other reason you're not part of that family.
Obviously, Kong and the League of Assassins are going to show back up at some point.
Yeah.
The Legion is probably going to show back up at some point. Luthor's going to show back up at one point. So it's going to be real bad. We got to be ready for him. That's it. We just got to be ready.
What does that mean?
We have to be ready.
Okay. I need you to backup job.
Yeah, so Titans are ready for Metropolis. So everything's being cleared there to minimize the damage. They're going to make their stand in Centennial Park. That's where the Superman statue is.
Yeah.
everybody, like, just do whatever you need to get ready for this one. All right, whatever you need.
Maybe fight them in Kansas.
I was gonna say
Like a lot of open land.
the track of the behemoth has it crossing the entire United States to get to Metropolis. Maybe you want to stop it before
We can't stop it.
any of that. Oh,
There's
okay.
Great Plains would be perfect
I mean, like,
for
you
this.
could
There's
ask.
only a handful of minor cities in between.
They're not important. We don't care.
Yeah.
It's just
If
going.
I
It's not
can't see the
Coast
Daily
City or
Bugle.
Central City
Yeah.
or one of the other cities that are named
Yeah.
frequently in
It's
our
just,
universe.
it's like up in Canada.
Right. It's
Sorry, our neighbors to the north about a lot of things lately.
Do they have a plan for like reversing his decline since he's dying?
Batman does.
Okay.
So Flash and
I'm gonna throw him in a Lazarus pit.
Yeah,
They have a giant
thump.
one apparently.
It's fine. I got one of my own. It's in my Batman. Cyborg and Flash are gonna head off to the meeting spot for whatever Batman built. Batman's like, I'll meet you there. Lois is taking a nap, wakes up, Clark is gone.
Oh my God, he disintegrated.
Right? She's like, what the heck? That will be revealed later on. The Legion of Doom is loading up into
Does he
their...
come back as Superman the White?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely that.
By the way, Scarecrow got changed again. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, that's back to the original artist.
Okay.
Look, this is my show outfit.
Yes.
I fight in the other one.
Yeah.
I have a lot more motion.
So, everyone's loading up. Lex has basically summoned everyone to the city. They don't appreciate that necessarily, but it's like, listen,
We have to listen to Lex.
He is kind of in charge.
He does pay for everything.
they don't love that, but they also don't love the fact that, like, there's clear, like, that he activated the beacon in this, like, mech that he's in. He's like, I didn't. It activated on its own, but that's fine. I'm going to use it. Because, like, since Godzilla seems to be down, I'm going to show them that I'm the one to bow to. That's how I'm going to get
Right.
control
I
of
was
them.
going to punch him into submission.
Right, exactly that. So they do show up, and he's like, they do kind of immediately go like, oh, that's Godzilla. Okay. He doesn't have to do
Oh.
anything. They're just like, got it. And that's when the Batmech shows up.
Yes!
That's awesome.
Which is really, really funny, because like Lex just goes, that's interesting.
Did Batman know that Lex was building a giant robot that he could control, and so he's like, I got to build my own giant robot? Or
Even
it's
if
just
he
a
didn't,
coincidence?
I think
I'm really
it's,
hoping-
I legitimately think it's just a.
He's like, there's kaiju, I need a big robot.
I
Exactly.
would say it's that, and also he's just like, there's a non-0% chance that Lex Luthor doesn't have a giant something.
Right.
So okay,
Right.
I'm gonna beg on that one. So that's what the treadmill's for. It's powering the robot.
Oh.
Cyborg is helping to interface
That's really funny.
all the data into it. We got a bunch of the flyers with them, right? Like, all right, we're ready too. Like, we got superpowered people. We got the Bat robot.
Right.
Awesome. Let's go.
Okay.
And so they do. So, like,
Yay.
immediately all the flyers and all the other superpowers go for the other Titans, and the Bat mech goes after Lex. Cool.
Sweet.
I'd love it.
Yes.
I would absolutely love it if all the actual kaiju, all the monsters,
Yeah.
just sort of hung back and be like, whoa, Godzilla and a giant bat thing. We're gonna wait. We're gonna hold back and
Let
see
them
which one
fight.
wins.
Yeah.
They do that for once.
Yeah, exactly.
They start
No,
making
no, no.
bets.
But hey, yeah, right?
They hold up their ass. Whoa, this is their fight.
Yeah. You know, we're not a part of this. You
Yeah.
know what? Maybe we should make our own decisions for once. You know, I really hate fighting.
Yeah. Wait, why are we fighting each other at all?
Yeah.
Can't this world be big enough for all of us?
Yeah, guys, bring it in.
Just get a drum circle going. Or they just get a big thing of popcorn, like a giant
Yeah,
tub of popcorn.
literally
and
just,
like,
no.
awesome.
We're not done with surprises because we got next level. What's the next level from Batmech? Green Lanterns
Yes!
come together and make Green Lantern Robo.
Nice.
They Power Ranger it up.
oh, they're each in a different
They're
like, piece
each
of
a
it.
piece of it.
I love it. I freaking love it.
Yay.
Green Lanterns unite, everyone. And so it's like, all right, that's why we had to have the Green Lantern Corps show up so that
Yep.
we could do this.
That's insane.
So everybody's doing their thing, right? They're
Okay.
all fighting everyone that they can.
Does
Meanwhile,
the Batmech have giant batarangs that it can throw? Like the size of cars?
if it does, that'd be very dangerous. It probably does. Meanwhile,
I actually mounted them to my wrist. They fire out.
yeah,
Yeah.
At
I took some
at a
ideas from
concerning
Azrael.
amount of speed, an uncontrollable amount of speed. Meanwhile, Jason and Damian are flying in the bat plane.
The one that was blown up?
What? They've got another one.
Oh,
He had
there's
another
always
actually
another
2
Batplane.
on this.
Well, listen.
So they actually had 3.
Batwoman has one.
Oh, that's right.
And hers didn't blow up.
Hers didn't blow up, so there's also just one extra one.
Yes. This is like the worst team you could possibly have in a Batplane together.
Yes,
Come on.
this is not a good idea.
This is a bad idea. Especially when they got an upgrade from the Flashes and
Oh.
Cyborg, and it turns it into a tiny mech. It's like a little,
they have a
A little
Gundam.
transformer
gun-
thing, yeah.
pew pew. Right, so they're helping
Batman's
out.
like, I don't approve the gun.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's like lasers, whatever.
Right, and these are monsters and stuff.
It's period appropriate though.
Right, and that's when Supergirl shows up,
Oh,
but under the influence of
God.
Grodd, along with Kong, who's also under the influence of Grodd.
Oh my god.
So it's like the shit has hit the fan, everyone. Right? It is not good, right? Because like they seemingly had it under control until
Yeah.
Supergirl started taking everybody out. They're like, we have to stop that. Obviously, it's Grodd. They immediately start putting it together. We have to find Grodd, and you got to stop him, right?
Right.
Because she's just gonna peck everyone off.
Yeah.
Kong-
Batman should use his Kara contingency. He must have one. I guess
Right.
he's piloting the mech, though.
Yeah,
so
he doesn't have time. Grodd sends Kong after the Green Lantern mech. It rips off one of the arms. And they're like, Guy Gardner, get back in here. And he's like, hang on a second. I'm going to fight some of these like monkey men for a little bit. And that's when Grodd lands on him, crushing his head and killing Guy Gardner. And I'm like,
Oh!
out of all the Green Lanterns you could kill. Okay.
Crap.
Oh no.
Oh.
Guy Gardner.
It's like, but how? He's got a movie coming out. Again, it's not in continuity.
It's not in continuity, and it happened before the movie was coming out. They're all like, oh no! Aquaman shows up, kind of too late to the party. A bunch of other Justice Leaguers show up. They're rallied by the death of Guy Gardner to some degree, if any of them even recognize that it's happened. And inevitably, they do take his helmet off.
Oh, how great would it be if, like, the Batmech just steps on Grodd?
Right? That is not what happens, thankfully. What does happen, how do they take down Grodd? Ollie shoots an arrow that Grodd catches, which distracts him from Jason Todd and Damian shooting their bullets at him, and that knocks the helmet off, but he's seemingly fine. Additionally, hey, were you thinking Beast Boy is a member of any team in the DC universe? Man, wouldn't it be really cool if we could get a Beast Boy to be a giant gorilla and fight King Kong? Don't worry, we're gonna get that.
Yay.
Here it is, right there. Right there.
Can Beast Boy get arbitrarily large?
I
Yes.
guess.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
he
I mean, he's
become-
He can
Been a
become any
T-Rex
animal.
before.
Yeah. So he does. And he's just like, cool. This guy, Kong's got nothing on me.
Yeah, I'm at least equal to him.
Right, but then Supergirl, before they take the helmet off,
Punches
knocks
him in
him
the face.
in the back of the head, which they're like, okay,
Oh,
that's
no.
that's probably not good. Kara gets back to it. She and Kong have this moment. We're like, oh no.
Ooh.
I
You
am
okay?
so
You all right?
sorry.
You good? All right, let's
we
get
were both controlled, right?
Yep.
We were both.
Yep.
That's when I punched you. That was the same thing that he did to you.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, you got me. You're smart. Yeah, okay.
We took care of Grodd. Kong's back on our side. Supergirl's back on our side, which
Right.
means obviously something worse has to happen.
Yep.
And that's when the Skull Devil and Skullcrawler show up.
Oh my god, it's massive.
Yep, back with Godzilla.
Right.
Someone's come to visit him, and it's Superman.
Yay!
We got unfinished business, Godzilla. Let's go. Godzilla's like, yes.
It's like, yeah, and
Do
Superman's
it.
like, okay, I want to apologize.
Actually, I'm not gonna punch you.
Exactly. So then we get like this really dope, really well done, like, let's go back type of story in which like things are going to be explained that happened in the past and be paid off before we kind of talk more about that. So it's kind of like before we talk about the next past thing. So it's really cool. So it's like 10 minutes ago, Lois Lane is like calling out to anyone, where is Superman? What happened? What happened? What happened? Superman shows back up and is like, Batman and Cyborg saved my life. They rigged the Watchtower's teleporter to make a makeshift boom tube, and they boom tubed me to the sun.
Oh,
And the sun jumpstart me.
just like right.
Just like right
At the
outside the
sun.
sun, just bam.
Yep.
But he's got all this solar radiation. I was like, that can't be good for Lois.
No,
Ah,
it's
that's
fine. She's gonna get a good tan.
Yeah, so it's just like UV and stuff. It'll be
It's like a lot.
it'll be okay.
It's like,
I don't even know what that means. He
I-
has solar radiation
I don't
on it.
know.
Like,
so,
I guess cosmic rays
Yeah.
from the sun could have caused
she's
him
gonna
to
go
be
invisible.
irradiated. Oh, she's gonna what?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
Yeah,
'cause
cosmic
she's-
rays.
Yeah, exactly.
She could turn into a Rocky thing for all we know.
Right. So she's gonna fill him in because she knows all the stuff about Monarch and what's been going on, right?
Right.
Deathstroke and Cheetah finally found Toyman. He immediately died upon
Oh.
Godzilla's arrival because he wanted to go see him, and Godzilla smushed him.
Yes. That's awesome.
But where's the Dreamstone?
Right. Well, it's
Probably with him.
somewhere in the footprint, maybe.
Let me get this dope page.
Oh, is it like stuck in Godzilla's foot? Oh, Jesus.
It doesn't matter. It's just like we had to do something with it, right?
Yep.
Look at all these colorful characters. Look at all these colorful
awesome.
characters fighting. The rest of the flashback is we'll get into the fight, but like the flashback is that like Superman then goes to the Legion of Doom to free Billy. And Billy's like, "Oh my God, you're alive! That's awesome!" And he's like, "It wasn't your fault, man. Turn into Shazam. You have to go help them in Metropolis. I got something else to do." So he goes off, and he will show up in the fight just in the nick of time.
Right.
We'll
of course.
right.
Yeah.
Then Superman goes to Godzilla and is like, "I can't convince you. Like, I get it now. Like, I learned all about it. You arrived in a place with metahumans. You're trying to just bring balance. I can't convince you that this isn't your world and not your job.
Right.
What I
Because
can
you're like
do,
a big dumb animal.
yeah, is make you mad enough to follow me." And so he frees him, and he's like, basically, he's bringing the party to Metropolis.
You know what should have happened? They shouldn't have had Skull Island there. Because, like, technically it doesn't exist. It's just the monster should have shown up. So then Superman flies Godzilla into space and so it's like, see, look at all the islands.
Yeah.
Skull Island is not here.
And he's
And
like,
you know about all the
You know where
islands
it
as
would
well.
be, right? Yeah,
And
because
then
you're in
Black
the water
Panther's
and
like,
stuff.
God damn it!
Right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. So literally, they like the Skull Devil is like bigger than anything there. They're like,
Yeah. What are we supposed to do
Dog
about
pile
that?
on the Skull Devil.
so like all the heroes are like, all right, we're just gonna try to focus on the smaller things while like
Yeah.
larger things are trying to take down other larger things, right?
Right.
So at least you got Kong back, because Kong will fight the Skull Devil. He's done it before.
Yeah.
But it's really big now.
Yeah.
Hal literally can't get over Guy Gardner's death. I get it, but it's just really funny to see a comic book character in multiple panels just being like, "But he's dead."
Right.
But he's dead. Everyone's like, "Yo, it's Guy Gardner."
Yeah. Come on, man.
He's not Superman.
A, it's Guy Gardner.
Gardner.
B, there's a big fight happening. We really just need to like
Yeah.
grieve later.
Now's not the time.
Yeah.
Look, maybe you want to fly him out of here if you're so concerned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They wake Beast Boy back up and they're like, "Get back in there, man.
Yeah.
We need you. He's not dead. He's okay."
Now you got to become that skull monster thing.
Exactly. They need to get the Green Lantern mech back up, essentially, regardless of it not having an arm. But it's like, we're now down another big thing.
Right.
Hal, get it together, man.
Right.
As as you can see, like Gar gets back into it. I love this like team up.
Me and Green Me.
Yeah. Like Kong's like, okay, and he's like, I got your back, man. Come on, we doing this. We doing this.
What really should happen is that since we have King Kong here and a Mecha Godzilla, we should have had Gar be a wolf person, a giant wolf person, and then they just attack buildings
just rampage.
and eat people,
Yeah.
and destroy the military.
And like eat, helicopters. It's
Yeah, where's like human like armies and stuff? Why
Yo,
aren't they?
why would the human armies?
It's like they're on vacation. Like, I think the superheroes could get this one.
They will,
Yeah, they will.
100% that.
Batman is like, we can't stop Mecha Godzilla. We need some help, right?
Right.
So I think Kara.
Wasn't Carol fly through it and just grab Lex and fly him to the sun?
Well,
like,
right? I know. So it's like you got that going on. It's also the Batmech is also being attacked by one of the little skull crawlers. So Kara at least gets that off of them. And that's when, of course, Shazam will show up. Just as like the Batmech is down, it's like, oh gosh, they're not gonna make it. They're gonna
right.
be
And
taken out.
If he punches the Batmech hard enough, the Batman's just gonna
No,
die. He's just a squishy
he's gonna
thing
shoot.
inside.
He's gonna shoot his own like
Oh,
energy into
yeah,
it.
it's radiation blast.
Shazam knocks Mecha Godzilla out of the way. It rediverts its blast into one of the skull crawlers. They're
Nice.
dead. They're down. Hooray!
Oh
Right?
no. Yeah, we can kill them because they're gross.
Yeah. Batmech is like surrounded by the other skull crawlers though. It's like, all right, we can't let them see or get our backs on this one. And that's when the Green Lantern mech shows back up, now with like a shield instead of another arm. They're like, all right, back to back, Batman, we got this, right?
Look. Nice.
Kong, is taken by the Skull Devil. Gar is trying to help fight it off. Mecha Godzilla comes in to knock him down. If only we had some other really random thing that maybe you didn't see coming, but then it happens, and you're like, obviously this is what's gonna happen. Because what happened to Guy Gardner's ring? Well, it chose the Kong.
Oh my god.
What? Are you kidding me? How just...
What kind of constructs is he gonna make?
Okay. So, like, obviously it imbues him with, like, a sort of intelligence, so he understands how to use it.
Yeah, you can see it here. That's why I didn't really. I
Oh
didn't
my
stay.
God.
You see it like floating around,
Yeah,
like,
it's
who am I gonna choose?
You know, I didn't even think that was gonna happen.
That's-
I just assumed that Hal was gonna take it.
Yeah, and have like multiple rings.
It
Yeah.
always turns out well for him.
Yeah, right. Here's my thing.
Oh, I'm twice as powerful
He
now.
makes a big,
He makes a
like,
big
primal
axe.
axe, and
Okay.
he just starts slashing in to the skull
Jesus
crawlers.
That's awesome.
This went off the rails in a beautiful way.
Yep. The rest of like the superheroes, like Wonder Woman and Shazam and all of them, like realize like we gotta disarm Lex, and Shazam goes like take his arms off. They're like, that's actually not a bad idea.
Actually, yeah, that would help.
Yeah, let's just. There's enough strong ones here. Let's do it. And so they rip off his arms, and
They'll
then
just grab a
and then the
finger and
Batmech goes and picks him up and just like.
Just suplexes him.
Hey, look, if it was actually Godzilla, it would be gross.
So it's like it's really the wrong iconography because it's not being driven by Bane.
Right.
But like Batman gets to break someone's back. So like, good on you,
awesome.
Batman. You did it, honey. You did it.
You know, that felt really good.
I really liked that. But the Skull Devil is still a problem.
Yeah, because it's
Because
really
it's the
big.
biggest thing there.
Yeah.
So it bites the Batmech in half. Batmech's taken off the table.
I saw that and I was like, oh no! And I was like, wait, he's not being bitten in
he's
half.
fine.
Yeah, he's
up
in the
in the
head or
top.
something. Yeah, it's
He's
fine.
okay. He's fine.
That's when Batman's like, no, I'm in the foot.
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna travel all the way up to the top of that thing?
Screw that. That's
Absolutely
really
not.
far.
And no one expects you to be in the foot.
Exactly.
True. And if you have to get out, it's a lot easier.
It's a lot easier. So you think like it's just going to be like Green Lantern Kong versus the Skull Devil. No, that's when Superman shows up with Godzilla, and Godzilla's like, dope.
Oh,
that.
cool.
I'm gonna fight that.
That- Imbalance.
That one. I want that one.
Okay, that's the biggest issue here. Okay, got it. Not a problem. I am down for this. But you can see it's like really like you can see the size difference. Like Godzilla
Yeah.
is kind of small compared to him.
Yeah. Nice.
And so he like grabs the skull, or he pushes the Skull Devil over, and then Godzilla and Superman both power up and fire their lasers essentially at the Skull Devil.
That's
Remember when we were
awesome.
fighting back and forth and it kept now we hit the same spot together.
Yeah, if you thought like, man, you know what'd be really cool? That, but what if they used them together and they teamed up? And then Kong comes in for the final blow and
Nice.
like hits him with his, Green Lantern axe.
Yeah.
And
How come Superman's not like, no, we have to save the Skull Devil too? Like he's also a creature who just doesn't, know where he is,
Nah.
and he's
Superman's like, I died.
yeah.
I'm not
doing that
through
anymore.
again.
Also,
Nope.
he's all gross and stuff.
Yeah,
he
it's
looks
fine.
like the bad guy. So
Batman was fighting him. That's enough for me.
yeah.
Like I
Batman
would
said
say,
that we need to kill this one.
so
I'm
that's what
killing
we're
him.
gonna do. And then Godzilla does as Godzilla does and screams like
Nice.
I assume that's like reaffirming I
Yeah.
am the king of the monsters.
Yeah, he's holding court.
Yeah, the three of you over there, get with it. The ring leaves Kong.
It's like, okay, you're not the most worthy anymore.
Look,
You were the worthy
you're
in
not
the
supposed
moment,
to kill things.
Yeah.
You killed something, you
That's
lose the
true.
ring.
He's no longer worthy.
right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then we just kind of wrap it up, where Clark's like, yeah, listen, as we were flying in, I heard Deathstroke and Cheetah talking about what happened to Toyman, and I realized that the stone was in Godzilla's foot, so here it is. So let's just...
Shouldn't that mean that Godzilla could have wished for anything he wanted? Shouldn't things have
wishes
just been
should
working
be
out in his
coming
favor?
true.
Because technically, all it needs is intent.
Oh, you have to hold it in your hand.
Yeah.
You can't be stuck in your
I
foot.
think maybe you also have to say, I wish.
Yeah.
Godzilla's like, I wish for nothing.
I make my reality.
I make shit happen.
Yeah. There's no
Godzilla.
wish-
What is this wish? Feh.
So essentially, Superman starts wishing everyone back.
Yeah.
He starts with the other kaiju and leaves Godzilla and Kong for last. Like, he doesn't do them all at once.
That's
I don't
weird.
know if it's like he's putting them back where they belong or just giving them a second. But, they go back, and then Superman goes, sorry about Guy. I liked him. He was And Hal goes, hard to like. Simon goes, an acquired taste. And Jess goes, that lingers. And that is the only morning
Oh my
of Guy
god.
Gardner, beyond Hal being sad about it earlier.
Wow. Wow. A man just died.
We got more.
That's rough.
They collect Lex, and then Clark and Lois get to go on a picnic. They never get to go on their vacation. But you know what? They're going to have another chance after the wedding. And he's like, oh yeah, our honeymoon. Like, I could take you to the moon.
It could be a literal
like-
honeymoon.
she's
I've already been there.
She's like, the view from the watchtower was plenty. And so, yeah, he's like, are you ready to be Mrs. Lane? And she's like, so ready. The end.
Oh, they should have gotten engaged
Yay.
inside of like Godzilla's footprint.
Just there it was. So yeah, Godzilla or
That was
Justice League versus
insane.
Godzilla versus Kong. It's a perfect summer blockbuster. It is a
Yeah.
perfect popcorn book. There are things in here that are gonna make you go like, wait, does that make sense? And then you're like,
Whatever.
I was 100% convinced Toyman was going to pilot some sort of giant mech. The fact that he just died by being squished on.
Yes.
yeah, he was trying to. He was
Perfect.
like, I have to see my pet. I have to see Godzilla.
It's glorious. Wham.
Yep, just gone,
Love it.
dead.
Absolutely love
Poetic
it.
Yeah.
justice. Yeah.
And they're making a sequel. Now, I've heard that the sequel will be the DC Universe going to the Monsterverse.
monarchy? That's
And that, for me, is a
weird.
little less exciting.
Well, they're gonna go to Hollow Earth.
Oh, yeah. But, like, there are more opportunities for other kaiju to show up that
Yeah.
are within that universe. So I'm kind of excited about that,
Like Ghidorah.
right?
Or Mothra.
That's what I'm like. I'm like, but Mothra, right?
Yeah.
What about a spinning turtle?
He's not part of this.
That's something else.
That's something else. It's owned by
He's a
somebody
different
else.
universe.
We don't talk about that.
I wonder if they're going to have like the bad guys like
Oh, right.
go there and
Yeah.
like try to like take over
Yeah.
or manipulate
Yeah,
things.
to go
and
back.
The Justice League has to like help.
Yeah,
them
like
out.
Yes.
Lex is like, we can.
Like there's no superheroes
rule
in that world.
Right.
Yeah, like
Or think about Monarch reacting to superpowered individuals showing up.
right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of like, ooh, what are we gonna do? What
Yeah.
heroes will go, especially when we're dealing with you know, beings that are tied seemingly at times, depending on what you're gonna go with like nuclear power. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of options here. Initially I was like, that doesn't seem as exciting. After I reread, I was like, I mean, like I just want more though,
Yeah.
because like this book seemingly you think you've like it's not gonna get better. And then King Kong gets the Green Lantern ring, and you're like,
All right, you got me. I didn't see that coming.
I remember reading that issue. I'm like, oh my god! Like I physically had a reaction because I just didn't see it coming.
No, why would you?
How much better would it have been if it went on his foot?
I just bink. It's a toe ring. It's fine. It's fine.
Did it? I guess it gets bigger when it needs
Yeah,
to.
it
Oh, yeah,
sizes up
resizes.
to the wearer.
Yeah, because there's all different shapes and
But
sizes.
I mean, like it's just so off the walls in like just the best way possible.
Yes.
I kind of hope that in
Juggles
the
the
next
pieces
one,
well.
Yeah.
Superman is not there because he and Lois are on the honeymoon.
I hope so. I hope they get to go on their honeymoon
Yeah.
for sure. But like,
It's like,
right?
I'm gonna
There's
sit
like
this one out.
there's more of a plot than you'd imagine.
Yeah. Yes.
And I legitimately love just random villains being like, screw that plan. Do my own plan.
Yeah.
Like, they would. They
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah,
would.
like the League of Shadows goals are not the same as Lex's goals. They're like, and I'm just gonna destroy everything.
Yeah,
Here's the thing. I'm just going to toss it in there and see what happens.
Yeah.
it's a test.
Yep.
Get
Like
past
Lex,
it,
you've got
humanity.
your plan with your mech. You want to like rule them or whatever. No, I just want to unleash the biggest one.
Yeah. Oh, now what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Lex.
Oops.
And Aquaman, I just want to
Sorry.
make sure my city's dome doesn't get broken.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and at some point, can somebody help me get that Kraken back? I was just saying.
Oh yeah, we didn't resolve that. Yeah,
Come
they
here, boy,
put
come here,
him.
boy.
They put him back.
Have a nice battleship for you.
Superman gets him. He's like,
Don't worry about it.
but yeah, I told you it'd be exciting
It is very
It is.
exciting.
and fun.
Bonkers and a lot of fun.
It
Yeah.
is a lot of fun, and like you get to see what you want to see. It's a crossover that delivers on that. It could have very easily been like too flimsy, too paper thin, just a couple of cool moments. No, it makes sure to like give each of the Titans an opportunity to have a cool moment, to
Yep.
see Titans that maybe you haven't had a chance to really see a lot of doing things, even if it's
Yeah.
not really within their continuity. It's like, cool, look at them fighting. Look at them fighting each other. Look at them fighting Wonder Woman. Like, it's neat.
Yeah.
And also Godzilla's there. I love Godzilla. I know Godzilla's
looks
never the
cool.
hero. I just love Godzilla. I
Yeah.
love his shape. I like his sounds.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I enjoy his feet.
I do. I love his feet, his little snout. I love all of that is Godzilla. And I know that, like, he doesn't have necessarily a good bone in his body, but I'm just like, he just needs a little understanding.
Yeah. I mean, in the Monarch universe, he is portrayed as at least a natural.
Yes.
Like, the natural world needs him.
Yeah, he's not a villain.
Yeah.
And, like, he's not like when, like, Ghidorah tries to take over and it's just like, no, I'm going to mess up everything. Godzilla's like, I'm going to be in the ocean. If something happens, I'll show up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
As long as I'm in charge, I'm
It doesn't
cool.
really bother me.
You don't mean anything to me. I don't, what?
Yeah.
I'm kind of just waiting for you all to go away.
Yeah. Like, eventually, like, you'll, like, die off or something. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, again, super fun, over the top. You can feel every person who's working on this book is having the time of their lives making this book. And I can't wait for them to bring that same energy to the sequel. But I highly recommend you read this first just because it's fun. Like, I don't know if it'll have any bearing on the sequel. Presumably it will. But it's like, read it because it's a good time. And if you just want to, like, enjoy something that maybe isn't continuity steeped, this is for you. If you're like, but I don't know anything about the Monsterverse, you don't have to.
you don't need
There's
to.
enough characters in this who are going to tell you what you need to know. Trust me, you will be fine. And you can get a copy of it in the comment or the description box down below because Sal has put it down there like a magician. Like some sort of
Tech wizard.
Thanks, Sal.
Thanks, Sal, for
your
editing this
contribution.
and helping out. You're the king of comic pop.
That's perfect. That was, yeah, you sound just like him.
It sounds like when he's editing. You sound like, vroom, 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 vroom. I'm like, oh boy, he's got a real good episode going over there.